going to open up a can of worms. I need to wait till it says live. I know it says live on your end, but I got to wait till mine. And if I sound nasally, it's because allergies are kicking my ass. So Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turning Time Podcast. I forgot what number episode this was, but fuck it. Today we are going to be talking about, and this is going to open up a lot, the greatest overall women's wrestlers. We already touched on the WWE women's wrestlers, and Joe is still bitter about that.
No, I'm good now.
Still bitter about that, but
No,
we are going to...
I'm bitter that Mandy signed this.
We're going to be talking about overall women's wrestlers, talking about women who have made a name for themselves, not just in WWE, but in AEW, New Japan, in the indie scene before or after the WWE, even women from Impact, which arguably has the best women's division going right now. There's going to be a lot of names on this list. Some of them might be left out, and if you get mad, I don't care. It's probably because they suck. I'm going by what I observed. I'm going by what I've researched, and this is a pretty solid list, minus some substitutions that were made. Other than that, this is a really good list, easily better than the WWE list, because that was slim pickings there. I didn't know what to pick there, but I feel confident in this bracket. I don't think I have a definitive all the way as of yet. I don't know what you guys think, but as we go on, we'll discuss it and see what we all come up with. Before we get this started, I want to send a shout out to our sponsors, Optivist Crew, Coffee over Cardio, and Boxed Water. Be sure to follow their socials, Facebook, Instagram, and X. I hate that. It's Twitter. Be sure to follow Wrestling in Mom's Basement on YouTube and all their socials, which is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. Check them out. Also, check out Jason Rowland on H2O Wrestling on IWTV. They have a big event coming up, I believe.
Yep, that's Sunday, our 200th live event,
which I'm ready for. I'm ready for that. So please go check him out. He is the Michael Cole of H2O Wrestling.
Hey,
in a good way. I'm talking about like after Vince, Michael Cole.
I don't have frosted tips over here.
No. I'm not saying go out there and dress like fucking Josh Matthews. I'm saying like you're after Vince McMahon, Michael Cole. We've established this, yes.
Okay, that's fair.
So go check him out. Also check out our podcast, Turning Time Podcast. We're on all streaming platforms wherever you hear your podcast. We're on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe. When this video drops, like and subscribe this to, keep the engine rolling. Just keep it going. That way we can get out there and get our name out there as one of the biggest not biggest, but one of the hottest podcast out there in the wrestling community. Be sure to follow our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Turning Time Pod, because Twitter's stupid with names. We're at Turning Time Pod on Twitter. Still no Threads, but I don't think I'm going to make one because nobody's on Threads anymore. So yeah, let's get this started. Oh boy. I hope all of you did your research because this is going to be a good one. Mr. Joe, we're going to kick it off with you.
I normally am.
Well, you were usually last in the last episode, so we're gonna kick it off with you. The first matchup, we have Io Shirai or Io Sky, however you want to put them together, against Akira Hokuto.
Well, that's a tough one because they're both Japanese legends.
In their own right, yes.
Yeah. With that being said, I'm just going. I don't want Akira's done, but I'm going to go with Io now because Io's still accomplishing great things currently in the business.
Fair.
But it's more biased because it's current, but at the same time, she's literally a top women's champion in wrestling right now.
That's true.
I alter her accolades from Star and then NXT and wherever else. So
fair enough. Jason?
So this is actually a very interesting matchup because if people don't know too much of the history of Akira Hokuto, she was kind of in her time what Io Sky is now. A high flying Japanese worker. Unfortunately had her career cut short due to injuries. At one point she had like a brain tumor.
Yeah.
Things like that. She was, I believe still is, married to Kensuke Sasaki.
Really?
Yes.
Never knew that.
Yes, that's how she got into WCW when Sasaki was in there in the mid '90s when he had his run as United States champion. She came in. That's when they gave her the it was the one and only WCW Women's Champion because they tried to have a women's division when they had Medusa and that fell on its face. But
Yeah.
But
That's
she
why I
did,
invested that for her.
No.
she did very impressive stuff for her time. However, I think on an overall scale, I would say that at this point, even though there's still many years left in her career, I would say at this point, Io Sky has surpassed Akira Hokuto. Has taken what she did originally and enhanced upon it. So I will go with Io Shirai here.
Okay, fair enough. Pat?
Not that it matters, but I still probably would have gone with Io Sky here.
Okay.
Outside of this podcast, one of the few things I didn't know about Hokuto was she was the WCW Women's Champion.
Yeah.
But doing my research, she was great. But I think at this point they're kind of in their similar paths in their careers. So.
But right now, with Io still going,
she has more ahead of her than Akira did.
Yeah, definitely know people listening to this podcast, look up Akira Hokuto matches. She did stuff that was well before her time, and she was right in there with the Nakanos and the Aja Khans and the Miami Toyotas of the world.
Absolute beast. I mean, there's going through this list. There's going to be a lot of Japanese women's wrestlers. I mean, because come on, they like
pioneers.
Exactly. It's not the shit that we watched back in the day where it was barely any women's wrestling. This is the shit that if you want to watch women's wrestling, especially strong style type of wrestling, it was
all Japan women.
Exactly. So Io Shirai will advance. Jason, this next one's for you. The next one is Camille versus Sarah Del Rey.
Ooh, this is a good one. So Camille's another late addition to this bracketing. I felt like she deserved to be in there, just even though her reign just ended as the NWA Women's Champion. I
honestly forgot about Camille until you said something.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fair because most people tend to forget about the NWA. I mean, it's just.
You're not a fan of Tyrus?
No. I'm okay with their new champion. EC.
Hey, don't shit on Tyrus. He's in the top 60 of PWI, okay? I mean...
That still means something.
He did better than fucking, what was it? Eddie Kingston, Finn Balor, Damian Priest. I mean, he had a better year than them, apparently, so...
Kayfabe list, that's very true kayfabe.
Oh, my God. And we're talking about a list that Tyrus made and Naito didn't, so...
No, they left him out.
By default...
They have gone on record saying that they made a mistake and they completely forgot to leave him out.
But hey, by default, Tyrus is better than Naito.
For the year 2022, 2023, yes. He came on the road, but yes.
but Camille had a very good run as NWA Women's Champion. She held that belt for well over 2 years.
Right.
And you know, at the start of it wasn't really all that great, but by the time she got to the end of this, she turned into a pretty decent worker. I watched the match she had with Kenzie Page that she dropped that championship, the championship belt to at their 75th anniversary. And it was a very good match. And I think, you know, given time, I think she probably's on if she wants to, can go to a WWE or AEW because I think there's definitely potential there.
Yeah,
but when you're getting put up against probably the greatest American independent wrestler of the last decade, decade plus, in Sarah Del Rey, to me it's a kind of a no contest. It's going to be Sarah Del Rey. So like for modern day women's wrestling,
yes,
and especially what's happened in WWE, yes, there's a lot of people that you can say are the reasons for it, but I think there's no one stronger of an argument that you can say that is part of the reason why that the women's revolution happened and in terms of the improvement of the women's wrestlers in WWE and in NXT than Sarah Del Rey.
Isn't she a trainer now?
Yeah. Yeah, because they hired her as a trainer.
I was going to say for the performance center, right?
When they hired her in 2012 and she ended her independent run, she got hired as a trainer. And people didn't like that at the time, but it was now in hindsight, it was for the greater good because she helped develop all of these girls
exactly
to what they are now. So 100% to me, it's Sarah Del Rey.
Fair. So that's one for Sarah Del Rey. Pat?
Yeah, I have to go with Sarah Del Rey here. Camille's career is, all intents and purposes, just starting. Yeah, she was made champion in the NWA, but the NWA isn't necessarily gangbusters for her.
Well, and the sad part is that it was, and Corgan decided to be political.
By COVID.
Yeah.
Political.
He got hurt by COVID and got hurt by Billy Corgan's wanting to be political and who he decides to be as champion.
Plus, it didn't help with Tyrus carrying the belt on Fox News and shit and causing a whole that didn't help.
But that goes hand in hand with it.
But go ahead, Pat. I'm sorry.
But Camille's odds are she's probably going to go somewhere else and do great things there.
Yeah.
But as her career stands right now, it doesn't touch Sarah Del Rey.
Fair.
I'm somebody that's only seen maybe a handful of her matches, and I think it's mostly from like the Ring of Honor side of things.
Yeah.
But she's a name that I've heard of for years beforehand, and how important she is.
Yeah.
And then going into WWE, like Jason said, and being the trainer and bring up this generation of women for the age of WWE, which has put an extraordinary focus on that. Sarah Del Rey's career almost squashes Camille's at this point. So
fair. That's two for Sarah Del Rey. Fair enough. So Joe, I'm assuming you're going to agree.
Yeah, it is three for Sarah.
And it's also the fact, Pat, that you weren't able to see Sarah Del Rey matches only from Ring of Honor because, damn sure you ain't going to see him from Shimmer because Dave Price, I can't put his DVDs out within like a year span.
Fair.
Don't get me started. If I get started, I'm going to go on a mega rant about Dave.
Hey, like I said, we're opening up a can of worms, so you feel free to talk.
That'll definitely be probably for one of the people later on in this bracket when we get to them.
Okay, so Sarah Del Rey will advance. The next one we have Pat will go first. We have Jade Cargill. Yes, I substitute her in. She's the greatest of all time. Jade Cargill versus. I'm kidding. Jesus. Totally kidding. She's not in this bracket. Liv Morgan versus Dakota Kai.
I would say I like Dakota Kai more than I do like Liv. That may be a controversial opinion on its own.
I mean, because remember, we're not just talking about WWE run. We're talking about what they did. Yeah.
I think I would still have to go with Liv here because she has achieved a little bit more.
Okay.
Liv has one of the highest claims that you can have as a woman in the industry.
Okay.
And being a WWE Women's Champion. Dakota, she had a run in the Indies, but I always want to see more from her, and she seems to be more in the category of being a good hand.
Okay. Like being reliable, being there when needed.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going for Liv. Joe?
Jade.
Can I pick Never and just substitute Jade?
No. Good for Jade for getting the money while she can.
Yes.
I hope it works out for her because I think she's still ready for WWE. We'll see.
I have zero issue with her going to WWE. She's 31. Go now.
According to PW Insider, she's making her way to the Performance Center this week. So,
which she does need. The whole talk of her getting vaulted immediately to the main roster, that would have been a mistake.
No, that would have been a huge mistake. She needs work. I still think she has what it takes. She has the star power. She can move in the ring a little bit, but she has the look for it. She's still green. She needs to
She has main roster presence. She has main
Yes.
roster promo. She has main roster character. She
Yes.
has less than developmental in the ring.
Exactly.
So going to the two that are here.
Yes.
Just want to give Jade congratulations.
Yes. Yes.
I'm a big fan of Dakota Kai and her work as Evie.
Yeah, Evie. Yes.
Evie.
With that being said, though, Liv has achieved one high goal for women in wrestling, so I am going with Liv.
Okay.
But it's painful for me because I like Liv,
Yeah.
but I love Dakota. But I'm going with Liv.
Okay. So that's 2 for Liv.
I would go with also. I remember the first time seeing Dakota Kaido as Evie. In a random time when people were doing like match of the year projects on some forum boards and seeing this random match from New Zealand of all places.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that was the first time I got to see Evie. This was 2011 before
Yeah.
she even ever started coming over to the States for Shimmer and doing stuff over there.
Mhm.
Again, probably people don't get a chance to see too much of her Shimmer stuff because not getting DVDs and giving DVDs out,
True.
But her NXT work, like that great turn that they had over with her and Tegan Knox, and unfortunately really didn't get a conclusion because of the pandemic or whatever.
Not just that. I mean, she also came back and had incredible work with Raquel.
Yeah,
I thought she did great with that.
Really, I think she doesn't get enough credit for having a big hand in helping Raquel develop.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely think she doesn't get. Quite frankly, I'll go so far as to say it's no credit. She gets no credit for the development of Raquel.
No.
she
And
should.
I it might be a hot take for me, but I still think Dakota Kai should have won the NXT Women's Championship.
I probably at some when she initially did that turn, probably should have happened at some point.
Well, no, I feel like she should have beaten Raquel.
Yeah.
That's fair. That is a definite fair when they did that split. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like she would have been the one to beat Raquel because
Yeah.
she helped develop Raquel. She's the one that technically brought her in, and in like a student versus teacher type of thing, it's like I outsmarted you.
But to go into what Pat was saying, I think Dakota, and it's definitely seen from the company, and I think even was kind of this way even when she was in Shimmer.
Yeah.
She's always been seen as a really good utility player, but not the A person.
Right.
So that's why she's never really gotten her just due in terms of holding a singles championship. She's
Do-
won tag championships, but never the singles championship.
Do we think that maybe the injuries that Dakota Kai had probably
that
played an
definitely-
effect?
Yeah.
That definitely helped, and also, and I don't think people really notice with her. She's 36. She's
Really?
36.
Yeah.
She's getting up there. You don't see that looking at her.
No.
She's been around for a hot minute. Like
That's that New Zealand water.
yeah, exactly. And
36 looking 25. But yeah.
And while Liv has had injuries herself, the one thing that Liv has been able to do that Dakota hasn't is that connection with the audience. Little girls love Liv Morgan, and the unfortunate thing is how much that they have dropped that ball with her. Like she could have been the next big baby face for that company, and they just nope, we're giving it right back to Ronda. Like
I'm sure Liv's gonna pick up that momentum come Rumble time or whenever she decides to come back.
I would hope because she's still she still has a lot of time left.
Because outside of Becky and all of a sudden now Jade Cargill, Liv is probably the odds-on favorite to win the Women's Rumble. So
Yeah, I would definitely say so.
Also,
So-
where we are, I don't see a clear favorite other than Becky right now.
Yeah, Becky's having her cool down moment.
she'll drop it in a week or so to back to
Becky.
Tiffany.
I won't go that far. I think I think that with how you thought the same thing when they put that North American belt on Dominic Mysterio, and then they saw the ratings and they're like, no, we got to keep this going.
Honestly,
that Becky just was on. That skyrocketed that viewership. The highest.
that's another thing that pisses me off because it's like, oh, Becky's got the belt, she's gonna drag down the roster. No, she's not.
No,
She's not. When
that's
Charlotte, it's the difference. When Charlotte had the belt, she didn't elevate anybody. She refused to put Io and Rhea over.
Yeah,
When Becky made Tiffany into a star overnight.
yeah, that was the best.
Even when
match.
Tiffany lost, Tiffany is now the biggest star coming out of that.
That was the best match that Tiffany Stratton has ever had.
All thanks to Becky. And I feel like
Becky.
I feel like if Becky works with her more, yeah, I feel like if Becky works with her more,
that Becky can work with, like
exactly.
They had a really good women's division down there in NXT.
I feel like if Becky works with Tiffany more, Tiffany is slowly going to gradually be that big main roster call up.
Yeah, no, they definitely already see that with her. They definitely, that's definitely a long-term project. Yeah, they have, I would say, they have 4 long-term big projects in that women's division right now in NXT. You have Tiffany, you have Cora Jade, you have Roxanne, and especially over the last couple months, you have Lyra.
Yeah. Before we started filming, I actually saw on Twitter a video of Tiffany's on the road at the house show loop against Becky.
Yeah. Oh wow!
So it's like,
on the main roster
last night, in fact.
That's very smart. Like this is called getting you ready.
Yeah. Plus, besides that, like even when Tiff was NXT champion, she was working main event.
Yeah.
And dark matches just to get her out there. And before she got hurt, I think Nikita was one of them too. But she's injury prone, so I don't even know if she's ready.
Feel like it's when Nikita was getting sizzled up, like these other projects weren't developed yet.
Yeah.
Now that she's out for all this time with this injury, now when she's coming back, you have all these people that, quite frankly, have vaulted over top of her.
Exactly.
And like it's very difficult for them to really try and get her back on when you have all these other ones that have gotten more over. Like I think the big thing is the one, like we already knew about Roxanne, we already knew about Cora, we already knew about Tiffany. The one that I don't think anybody saw coming was Lyra.
Lyra is
like
she's gonna be something.
People don't really like the birds, like the bird, the hokey.
The character, I get it. But like
everything else about it, like she's got it. And it's like
in ring, fantastic.
Like you're not, if Rhea Ripley was the most dominant person that they got, they're obviously building her as their female monster. The fact that she gave as much as she gave over that last month or two to Lyra, that just tells you all you need to know about what they see in her.
She gave Lyra that big rub, just like how Becky is giving Tiffany the rub.
Yes,
it's that's all they need. And Roxanne, I don't know who gave her. I mean,
the only problem with Roxanne right now is the character stuff. It's very generic.
It's the character, and they don't know what to do with her booking wise because
it's too flip floppy.
Yeah, exactly. Like she gets lost in the shuffle back with like Blair Davenport and whoever's back there. But I think the main focal point of NXT right now is Tiffany Stratton. I feel like she's going to be, if not by next year time, I would say in about the next Mania 41, I feel like she's going to be a big part of that.
Yeah, no,
to be honest with you.
I totally agree. But getting back to Liv.
Yeah, Liv.
But it's just like they definitely missed a bow on it. But I think she still have, like, when she gets back, there's definitely still the time because you still, because like as much as I say like Rhea Becky for 40, it's like to me the big story is Liv getting that win. I think the bigger story is Liv being the one to beat Becky. Not to beat Becky, to beat Rhea.
I think comes full circle.
The bigger story. To come full circle with that, because remember it was Rhea that turned on Liv, then that got the ball rolling to her.
And
Judgment Day.
Rhea eliminated Liv in the final 2 this year. So
and it obviously seemed like they were going. And then it obviously seemed they were going that way for SummerSlam, and then they did the injury angle.
With
Rhea that took her out. So it's like again, there's all these things here that are built up. Like yes. Star power wise, the bigger match is Becky, but in terms of the story, it's WrestleMania 40 is going to be very interesting because you're going to have that very interesting dichotomy of the bigger story compared to what's the bigger star power draw.
I feel like if they do pull the trigger with Rhea Becky going into Mania 40, I'm going to be bold and say that's going to main event night 1. Because seeing how this is what I tell people, Becky is a fucking draw. Seeing how huge, exactly. If Becky is a huge draw, I feel like her and Rhea will main event night 1. Something that Rhea and Charlotte didn't do because of the lack of build and story. I get it, but I feel like with this and the name value alone and how far these two have like come like since the pandemic, Rhea and Becky will main event night 1
No, I agree with
if
that.
booked.
The woman main event night 1 because I can't see the world heavyweight title main event and wrestling.
No, I can't. I
No.
can't.
The only way I can see, I hate saying this because I love Seth, if Seth's not the champ, and somehow, because I'm thinking Gunther's going to be the challenger, but it's like, just hypothetically, Brock and Gunther, that can main event in night 1.
That could.
Yeah.
But another way, if night 1, if the world heavyweight title does main event, and this I don't want to see it again, but the only other way that could happen is if you get Seth Cody 4.
I thought about that too.
Well, yeah, especially if we're getting our old buddy Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Here, let me just put it like this. I don't think that's happening though, because the Rock just randomly say out there. I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm still. He just randomly showed up on a SmackDown. I mean, I
will
don't.
say this. It's a good way to get people talking. Because
Yeah.
what people think was obvious, it kind of keeps you on your toes now.
I mean, The Rock's known for that. He's known to just get people talking.
And by the way, even though I think it should be Cody Roman, business-wise, I get why it will be Roman Rock too.
Yes. Yes.
That's why I say going back to what's the bigger story compared to what's the bigger draw. Like,
Exactly.
It's going to be interesting because they got a lot of movement. They got a lot of options all of a sudden.
yeah, yeah, they definitely do. But yeah, what's
Liv Morgan.
back with Morgan. All right.
It's okay. No, we're good. We're good. So Liv Morgan.
Hey, it's always good to have those side discussions, guys. So
It's good. Liv Morgan will advance.
That was a right long-winded sidebar.
Long-winded sidebar.
We went from Becky's developmental run now. Let me bring that. Jane goes to WWE, Becky's developmental run to the
Tiffany.
WrestleMania
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
And we still all tied into this bracket. So hey, we did our job, guys.
And somehow tie it all the way back to The Rock.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all winds up.
We're not journalism. We're not journalists. Whatever. So
We're
Liv
all
Morgan-
a bunch of Matt Kellermans.
Oh yeah. I support Max. So Liv Morgan advances.
Matts.
Joe.
Yes.
Ruby Soho
Okay.
against Noodle Neck. Soraya.
Noodle neck. What the hell?
Fine.
Oh!
I just hope she doesn't get a light breeze in her neck.
Oh.
I'm not trying to be mean, but she does not take no bumps. She barely takes a bump anymore.
I mean, she's not smart about it, though. I mean, I would be.
I'm
too.
sorry. I still think it was a bad idea to give her the title. I'm sorry.
Oh hell yeah! I was getting worried last night. I thought there were two top women champions for me for Statlander. I was Britt Baker and Saraya.
The thing is, like, I'm not anticipating her and Tony Storm on Wednesday. I'm not.
I think Tony Storm wins because I love Tony Storm. With that being said, I'm just going for my sanity. I know she's not. But there's no way I'm rooting for Saraya over Ruby. I'm going with Ruby just for my own sanity. I know
Fair.
More.
Fair. So 1 for Ruby, Pat.
I'm gonna turn it like this. I'm gonna go with Paige over Ruby.
Yeah, well, you know what? The Paige ain't here. Paige here is not here. It's Saraya.
Paige?
Hey, champ.
I'm trying to say myself and be correct here.
Paige, yeah.
Paige has achieved more, unfortunately, for Ruby. Because Ruby is fantastic and she does deserve the world.
Ruby, I think, is also unfortunately, and it seems that it's definitely been shown that way through both companies she's been in.
Yeah.
Very much like Dakota Kai. We like you. You're very reliable. You're not the A. You're not the A. Even though that's just what it is.
It sucks, man, because she's so fucking good at what she does. And it's like, there's been so many times where you could have capitalized on Ruby.
The moment for her to win the championship was against Statlander, and they didn't do it.
Honestly, you had the chance for her to pull the trigger against Charlotte Flair, but you couldn't do that either.
No.
Yeah.
Of course
And
not.
like, I'm still mad that they didn't give her the women's tag titles at Mania 36 or 7, whatever it was.
Yeah, 37 was her and Liv. Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl Tamina.
Yeah. Damn. So we have.
But I'm still going to go Ruby though.
Yay! All
I'm still
right.
going to go Ruby though. Even in spite of all that, I'm still going to go with Ruby because
I'm a completely
because of the song alone. Like, come on now.
Oh, come on! Don't do that.
Hey, when it's against Paige here, I'm going to go with the song. Okay.
No, that's
I love-
Mr. Ray's horrible boyfriend makes her song, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad song.
It's
Not
not a
gonna
bad
lie.
song, but it's just yeah.
I love how Pat still picked Paige, and then he got excited that she lost.
Listen,
Again, completely the wrong decision, but I'm 100% okay with it.
Okay. Whatever.
goodbye, Noodle Neck.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey man,
Okay.
we all notice we all notice she's losing the belt to old Miss Money.
Money. Oh God.
We already know what's happening, guys.
Let's not.
We already know what's happening. It's the revenge match of the century.
Ugh.
But hey,
Why are you throwing that juju out there?
she's
Anyway.
behind there, but that's just me.
I mean, she's ready to go. She's just
Oh no,
waiting.
no! I just don't think the woman did not get respected there. Like, she should have been bound in Japan.
And we just had a person leave AEW who's known for getting extremely frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I honestly think
I will agree on that. That Sasha Banks is 100% the female CM Punk.
if Mercedes is ready, I see her showing up at Grand Slam on Wednesday.
I do too.
They honestly need to capitalize on that in order to build for Saraya and Monet at Wrestle Dream.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree on that.
And they need
I agree.
a female that has some instant exposure.
Exactly.
Because
And if they do not, if Tony Khan does not pull the trigger on that, that is the biggest. Honestly, it'll be the biggest drop that he's had since lying about Wembley. But
so last week, all right.
exactly. But like he needs, I feel like he needs Mercedes on Wednesday. If Saraya beats Tony Storm, Mercedes needs to come out and challenge her for that title at Wrestle Dream.
I'm still going to say that number was not right from the government.
What do you mean?
I don't buy that number being accurate from the government.
Why not?
Because
So you believe that AEW sold 81? I mean, they sold,
No,
but you think there was about 90,000 in attendance?
I'm not going to say 90,000. I do think it was 81 though.
Did you not see the missing seats?
But yeah,
That was not 81,000.
That stadium still holds 90,000 though.
It does. And TK said himself, with the workers and all them, it's about 90,000. But when you look back at it, that stadium was not
Whoever
completely
did
filled.
that thing from the government and Brandon Thurston, whatever, they're. I've been looking in that guy's tweets. He always is very.
Well, no, Thurston reported what the UK said. The UK even said.
The UK also wants the WWE to run fucking Wembley too. So,
but they didn't. They'd rather run Cardiff.
Because they got more money.
Because Cardiff pays them. That's why.
That's the difference.
Just like how, WWE could run Wembley, but they're going to go to Australia next year. So
I just feel like it's a continued effort to try to diminish anything AEW does.
It's not diminishing AEW. I'm all for the success they had at Wembley. I'm all for it. The show was actually better than what I thought. I honestly did enjoy the show outside of a couple matches, but at the same time, all the hype and everything thrown into it, all the the marks on Twitter and the marks outside of it, they put so much into thinking AEW is the greatest professional wrestling company in the world. They're the top competition to the WWE. Okay, cool.
WWE just said that themselves when they just had the TKO fight.
Yeah, they consider it as competition, but they also could. They mentioned Impact. They mentioned New Japan.
Impact's interesting because they were doing stuff helping out Impact as of late. That's
honestly, the thing is, honestly, I enjoyed Impact's 1,000 anniversary show over All In, and that's just me. I'm being biased here because.
Well, I will say this. There's definitely an argument to be made for this year. I don't think Khan's going to win Booker of the Year.
No, fuck no. I think it's either going to be
It's
Who
not
is
even
it,
true.
Scott D'Amore?
No, I think it's either going to be Scott D'Amore or Shawn Michaels. I think there's a definite argument.
Ooh.
They seem
There's
to
a
be the
definite
two
argument
closest
can be
that
made
I've
for
ever
Shawn
seen.
Michaels.
He's right
There's a-
there.
Because NXT has put on low key some of the best
Because
product week after week.
I can't say Hunter. I can't say Hunter post Mania with fumbling the ball on Cody. And the bloodline kind of drying up a little bit. Now they've gotten it back, but it's like there's some decisions that you can say and be like,
I mean, the thing is, did they get it back? Because the whole Jimmy thing's throwing me off.
I think they had a better week this week. But
Yeah,
I don't-
definitely did.
The issue with Jimmy is Jimmy's not Jay.
No, he's not. He's the Genetti.
He does that-
It's obvious.
He's
he
the
is
Genetti.
He is obviously the
I can
Genetti.
say that, but yeah.
Oh man, as sad as to hear that, like Jimmy is the Genetti of the group. That's just
Just look at the reactions when Jimmy comes out by himself. It's like, okay, cool, he's here, whatever.
Jay is a main event guy.
When they
Yeah, they're doing
when
the-
he's got that thing going. It's like, yeah. When you got
Well, because they're making Jimmy to be the heel, and I get it, but like,
and also Jay's got the Roman Reigns treatment.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember when the Shield broke up? Seth got
Yeah.
new music and a new look. Dean got
Right.
new music and a new look. Roman was the one that slightly changed the
But not
Shield
much.
music,
yeah,
but it was pretty much still him. It's the same with Jay.
Jay slightly.
Change
It's
the
yeah,
Usos music, but it's still him. It's
Yeah.
still
Like this.
all the same entrance.
It looks like they're trying to put Jimmy and Solo into a tag team now.
Good luck
Jimmy's
with
not
that
working
one.
at-
I mean, the one thing I am looking forward to if they do actually do this is Solo and Cena at the Rumble next year.
Yeah, that.
That definitely seems like well, I mean, hey, John's gonna be available because the strike ain't happening.
Yeah.
Ain't going
Yeah, so
anywhere.
is Dwayne. Dwayne's going to be available.
It's like shit, and I can't go back and do nothing because look at what happened to Drew Barrymore fucking getting canceled over her fucking show. She had
To be fair, I think this would be big for Solo,
oh, it's so big for him.
Well, that's the
and it would be bigger if he got the win. It would be huge if he got the win over Cena, because that's showing outside of Roman and could be Jay now, but Solo is that guy for the next 10 years,
Yeah.
alongside Gunther and a Carmelo Hayes and a Braun Breaker. You know, Solo is going to be one of those guys, and I'm here for it.
Badass Braun Breaker.
I personally thought that if it wasn't Cody dethroning Roman, I thought it would have been Solo.
Well, Cody's right now, unfortunately, in the Randy Orton 2004 role, where you think it's going to be him, and if they keep going and they get the reactions that they want to for Solo, he'll be the Batista.
Well, apparently Cody's still the top priority. Apparently, so
And he just showcase your LA Knight shirt.
he's the top priority outside of Dwayne and
Well, hey, he's getting his crown jewel match at Roman, so
LA Knight.
it's fine. It's fine. He's getting his crown jewel match. It's fine.
Who? The
LA
Rock?
Knight. No,
Oh,
LA Knight.
You think it's going to be LA Knight and Roman,
Yes, a crown jewel, 100%.
not AJ Styles?
No,
I think it's AJ's crown jewel. I think LA Knight's the Rumble match for Roman.
See, that's what I was going to say.
apparently Roman's not even going to work the Rumble, so.
Really? Oh yeah, because he wasn't
Really?
advertised in the poster.
I fight down it.
You have to have Roman at the Rumble. You can't. To have
Guys,
Roman not at the Rumble, that's just fucking ridiculous.
Guys, we're still in the bottom of the third inning.
God. Okay. Unless this is going to sound pathetic, but if they run back Roman and Cody next year, they have Solo turn on Roman at Mania instead of Solo hitting Cody again.
Yeah.
In that analogy, I think Solo's the bottom of the ninth.
Oh God, I hate this fucking.
Use that analogy. Solo's the last shoe to drop.
They're literally trying to find anything to make this bloodline story work.
See, the thing is, it will work if Roman was there. That's the issue.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's not there.
Other than all the interesting characters, Jay is on Raw.
And that's the thing.
That's the issue.
Well, they did that to try and
Well,
stretch this out.
like 90% of the men's storylines on SmackDown are run for are all connected to Roman right now.
Exactly.
Other than Ray and Santos, you literally have Lashley and the Hurt Business doing their making shots at Roman, or last year's Super Profits, I thought.
Yeah, whatever.
Judgment Day, because they're tag champs, they can work SmackDown, so they're aligned with that. But I think that's something to do with Survivor Series more than
like I said, it's gonna be the Super Alliance for
Yeah.
Raw.
Then you got AJ finally getting back into the main event scene with
Yep.
Roman, the Bloodline. Cena's connected to the Bloodline.
So oh shit,
Again.
we forgot AJ Styles was around.
LA Knight's connected to the Bloodline now. Everything on SmackDown still revolving
Except for
around
the guy that's supposed to be here.
Roman.
except for Rey Santos. And they had to do that to make it interesting because Jimmy's not interested on his own, unfortunately.
And to be
But
fair,
that's
you
like have all these other key players that can make it at least somewhat interesting.
I understand like The Rock wasn't advertised and he just showed up on Friday and just popped the rating.
He wasn't advertised, but
He wasn't advertised, but he was in the building
clearly
because
they clearly had a feeling about it because you don't just randomly show up on the Pat McAfee show on Friday in Colorado and then
I knew he was going to be there when I heard Pat McAfee came out. I was like, okay,
Well,
he's
yeah.
there.
My
But I
latest-
feel like besides popping the rating, that would have been a good opportunity to bring Roman out. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm all for Theory getting the rub because he's, again, one of those stars in the next 10 years.
Did he get the rub?
I think he did. No, it's not another burial. That's the thing. This is where I'm seeing people saying Theory got buried. He didn't get buried. In the last year, he's been in the ring with Stone Cold. He's been in the ring with Cena. He's been in the ring with The Rock and Edge. 4 guys that have took this company and skyrocketed like to new heights. Theory being in the ring with those guys is big because it's showing that they're putting their trust and they're putting a guy over that can carry it in the next 10 years along with Gunther and Solo. Like those list of names, Theory is that next guy. I like people may not see it. Cena said himself he may not see it, but it's giving him that rub.
And
Because
I will add to that. Rock did more for Theory on a mic than Cena did. And
I do agree on that.
Yeah, Rock did more. Rock could easily went somewhere, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Because Rock was in Rock mode. He didn't feel like Dwayne playing the Rock.
no, he was in the Rock mode.
He fit right in, and he could have went on Theory, but he didn't.
No.
So,
I feel like Theory is on another one, Grayson Waller. They're both on the right track
he's
by getting the rub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if Rock shows up again. He's the jabroni that gets
beat up.
beat up.
But true. Okay, back to this. Another side-winded conversation.
In the same car.
Yeah, right? Ruby Soho advances.
Yes.
Back to
I knew that.
by Noodle. Penne pasta neck.
Oh, Jesus.
Remember that time we met her at the Rumble, you and me, and she had just kind of duck lips?
Yeah, I
Monday
remember
at the
that.
Rumble, she was so swollen, I felt bad for her.
I remember that.
Oh my god.
I think it was the Rumble or like the Raw after I met her.
It was Raw after the Rumble, yeah.
It was like, yeah, I remember, yeah, because
That would have been right after she got hurt.
Yeah.
it was right after she got her. It was right after she made her retirement speech,
And her
and
lip got hurt.
and she
they was SmackDown. They made her SmackDown GM.
well, yeah, it was right after the Rumble. She was still a part of what is it, Absolution at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Noodle Neck. All right,
On the way out.
Ruby Soho advances. The next one will go to Joe.
Uh-oh.
Wait, I just got.
Lita,
Okay.
Michelle McCool.
Leah.
Well, fuck.
If it's what's literally coming down to, their greatest Michelle's literally WWE only girl. Yeah, Leah had to run in ECW wire, but she's there for WWE.
Not that great of a run, but I guess a run nonetheless.
I mean, it was still a run regardless.
Yeah.
Popularity that Michelle doesn't
Fucking
have.
Danny Doring.
True.
Yeah.
So one for Lita, Pat,
Yeah, this is easy. It's Lita.
Jason,
And that's-
Lita,
Yeah.
I
Lita.
think
Okay.
Michelle doesn't appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Bye, Michelle Mataker.
But
Yeah.
it's Lita.
Flowers go to Michelle McCool though.
Yeah.
This next one I think is going to be good because we have talked about her in the WWE bracket, but now we can talk about her more since it's overall. Jason, you're going to take this one. It is Candice LeRae. against Tony Storm.
Oof. Okay, this is interesting.
Uh-huh.
If this was done a month ago, this would be a easy freaking choice. It would have been Candice LeRae.
But seeing the work that Tony's put in now.
See, I think when it gets time to do year-end awards, I think the best character award, she's got to be up for this conversation.
Oh yeah.
What is she like? She was. I'm sorry, when she lost that belt to Shida recently on Dynamite a month ago.
Everything changed.
She was like, no, she was. In my opinion, I was like, oh, she's dead in the water. So like, she's going to go back down, and they ain't going to do shit with her. And then, in all honesty, what this is, I don't think people have kind of made this clarification to it yet. This is the female broken character. It's it has very broken Matt Hardy similarities to it.
She just has with her character, she has that Marilyn Monroe feel.
She's definitely watched a lot of 40s and 50s Hollywood actors.
Oh yeah, she went back and she was like, "Let me watch every Marilyn Monroe movie." And
Audrey Hepburn and all the Mommy Dearest stuff, and
exactly.
She went back and watched all that stuff, like the thing that they just put up last night with her and RJ City, the Portrait of a Star.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Chin up, tits out, and watch out for the shoe.
It's just, and they made that a shirt, and it's already selling like hotcakes. Like
and who would have thought, outside of her, outside of Christian Cage, her character is the best in AEW right now.
Yeah, I think there's a definite argument,
between her and Christian Cage's father gimmick,
and then Roderick Strong with the neck strong stuff.
Adam!
Sip-rodic.
Fucking, I love. It's the best.
Oh
the fact they made that video package saying he lived a rough life, and then all the shots are him as a kid having fun, and it's just like,
what the fuck does this have to do with your neck?
You're making this shit up, bro. It's like, and they have the kingdoms around him being all like supportive and shit.
It's just, I just love the fact that after every match he had, he would call back for the neck brace, and it's like, okay, no, you just got dropped on your neck by Darby Allin, but yeah, let's just call for the neck brace after. Like,
that match. Well, by the way, if anybody hasn't seen that match, go back and watch that match. That match is fantastic.
It is.
Yeah, Roddy and Darby. But even just with the match with Joe, where he sees Adam come down, he just immediately just.
He completely just faked it all. He was like, "Oh shit!" I saw Adam. I became Noodle Neck.
Now see, that's Noodle Neck. Now see, that's Noodle Neck. Okay.
At least he's not afraid to take a bump.
Oh, well, he's playing a character.
True.
But I still think, even with Tony's great character, even though she hasn't done so much in WWE proper, I'm still going to give the edge to Candice. Mainly just for the pre WWE stuff.
Yes.
She was, all the intergender stuff she did. Now, granted, 2023, some of the stuff you may not want to really watch because it's involving
Joey Ryan. I know.
Yes. And that's what kind of diminishes a lot of what she did.
You can't take that away from her, though.
No.
Because she has worked with the Young Bucks. She's worked with Johnny Gargano, her husband. Yeah. She's wrestled her husband, and I think beat him.
Yes.
She's wrestled Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa, and she's also worked what I think is the greatest fucking backbreaker I've ever seen is her and Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
The greatest fucking backbreaker I've ever seen. Oh my god.
He hits that and she just goes, whoop!
She just flies like a dead fish, and it's just great.
Yeah,
but
it's like Candice is amazing at what she does with intergender wrestling, and even when she's wrestling your regular women's stuff. The one thing that surprised me is when they gave her the opportunity to be a character in NXT and be a heel, which is something I didn't think she had in her. Like, there's some people you look at and you think, okay, these people are career baby faces, or these people are career heels.
She made it work.
She made it work, and she actually did very well with the wife stuff with her, and Johnny and Theory and Indy Hartwell.
I actually love those segments when they're at home together.
They were fantastic. She got to show a different side there, and it's like, unfortunately, they haven't done next to nothing with her on the main roster. But that just
I feel like it's because
she was grouped in with so many others that they hired all at once. That's what it was. That's what.
I don't think it's because they don't know what to do with her yet. I think they're trying to figure out. I still think her and Indy should be in the running for the women's tag titles,
Yeah.
or
Well,
find a way to at least find a way for the way, or at least mix up like the way and DIY together. You know,
Well, yeah,
like,
'cause that's how coming in terms of Gargano and Ciampa. I feel like
Yeah.
Because this week Ciampa used the Gargano escape.
Yeah.
he did, and apparently Gargano just came back on a house show last week
Yeah.
and lost to Omos.
Of course he did. Just, we must push Omos.
All Homo sapiens rise. So yeah.
The Homo sapien. Fuck. But yes, I'm going to give this. It's a lot. It's definitely to me a lot closer, but I'm still going to give the edge to Candice. But it's
Fair.
It's compared to where if this was a month ago, it'd been much further apart than it is right now.
Oh yeah. So 1 for Candice. Joe.
Yeah, going back and forth here. The last month for Tony Storm has come out of nowhere in a great way.
Yeah.
She's barely wrestled too. That's the other thing. It's like this has been all character stuff.
Exactly, and it's great.
Yeah, and it stays out at AEW because most of all of them are doing next to nothing in terms of character work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or they're just there to have a 7-minute match on TV. The rest, and what she did, I've been waiting for this to happen because I thought Tony's always had big star potential.
Mm-hmm.
And then and I was a big fan of her with the UK in the UK scene.
And CK, yeah.
Made by sick. Then it felt like ever since she came over to North America 2020 with NXT, she hasn't lived up to that until now. The thing with Candice is she's always been consistently great, but right now it's a little rough for her. But it's in terms of what they want to do with her. But I'm still going to go with Candice for her whole body of work.
Fair.
That's in terms of consistency. But I'm glad to see Tony's finally doing what I thought she could do. No, I didn't expect this, but finally become the star that she should be. But I'm going Candice, though.
Okay, fair. Pat, agreement?
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Candice, outside of WWE, has more to her. And then you compare it, it's almost similar, but Candice is still going.
Okay.
And Tony is starting to realize her potential now. So
fair. So Candice LeRae will advance. Arguably, probably one of the toughest matchups right now in this bracket.
Sure.
Pat, I'm going to give it to you. I'm sorry.
Edge.
Mickie James versus Gail Kim.
God damn it.
oh, damn.
I'm telling you, folks, this is done. These are done on purpose. I want to hear no randomizer.
I'm serious. It's random.
In Texas. That's what I'm
saying. Dude, what do you expect? Like, they're all good names on this list. It's going to go out, like, there's going to be some tough matchups. I can't just fucking...
Well, I feel bad for Gail Kim. She gets eliminated again. Because she don't have a chance, but she faced the WWE bracket.
She did.
But now she's the most decorated woman in wrestling right now.
Yeah, Joe pretty much just laid out my argument for me. It's Mickie. Gail definitely deserves her flowers, and I hope she face somebody else. Literally anybody else. She would have had a very good run for herself. But Mickie is literally the most decorated woman, one of the most decorated women in wrestling, period.
Yeah.
You can even compare their two runs, which it was either WWE or...
It's a dead heat with the Impact runs, but WWE, it's not even close.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell, you can take out Mickey's second run in WWE, and Mickie would still lap her there.
Yes.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah,
I know.
because they just did nothing with Gail.
They both had they both could have used better in their second runs, but Mickie stood them more in that second run.
Yeah.
But when it came to Impact, holy shit, those two...
I think in Impact circles, I think they would be considered 1 and 2 in terms.
It would be neck and neck. They're like The Rock and Austin when it came to Impact.
In terms of greatest knockouts ever.
Yeah. It's literally the Rock and Austin of the Knockouts
Yeah.
division
Yeah.
is Mickey and Gail. So I'm guessing unanimous is Mickey.
Yeah, it's Mickey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardcore Arby's.
We have the meats. Anyway, Mickey will advance. Joe, this next one is for you.
Well, that guy didn't get that one.
Charlotte Flair
Okay.
against Thunder Rosa.
Oh, so 2 problem people. Okay, cool.
All right. The Thunder has a point. Though I'm a Team Thunder with the backstage shit. But we're going with. I had to go with Charlotte. It's just it's the accomplishments next.
It's the name.
It's the name. It's the run in WWE next to that AEW Women's Championship run, which they did nothing with Thunder Minds.
Which pissed me off.
What?
Oh my god.
The match with Serena Deeb, I believe it was. At
Where the hell has she been?
We see next to nothing on her return, and besides going to Tony Khan's office, that was it. I know she said she's still.
Well, she's on Spanish commentary.
Good
Is
for
she
her.
really?
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
still
she
Spanish
is.
commentary.
Yeah.
That's where she's at least Charlotte's wrestling, not every week. And
But didn't they tease like Thunder Rosa having like a 5-minute match on Collision or something? And then
Well,
just
no, they teased the fact that she would like do like I guess a simulation match like before one of the shows just to see how her back was, and we'll go from there.
See, Thunder Rosa's a friend of Punk. I'm going with Charlotte.
is this unanimous?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
unanimous.
it's unanimous.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Well,
I mean, it pissed me off because you built Thunder Rosa up for like over a year, feuding with Britt Baker, finally taking the title off Britt Baker, and then doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
and then they disrespected her when they took the title by only giving her that 1 minute segment.
I mean, outside of the backstage shit, I still think she was disrespected. It's
Oh, yeah.
regardless.
What I know about her is, though, like I said, it's not. She had a reputation pre AEW, and she still has a reputation in AEW in terms of. It's not always the other person. Let me just put it that way in regards. to
It's not just that. It's messy. Put it that way. It's very messy, and it doesn't help even with Britt Baker. Like, don't get me wrong. The whole feud between them two and how Britt Baker felt, I feel like with her airing her grievances on that show that they did, that All Access show,
Yeah.
that did not help one bit.
No,
It didn't. They're both in the wrong for what happened. I get it. Like, I'm not on either side. I just still think Thunder Rosa was disrespected when it came to her run because
Yeah, the run was hard, but
it was terrible. Outside of what Serena Deeb, you said it was at Double or Nothing.
I think it was
Yeah.
last year, that was it.
That was it.
But I think to be fair, though, I think it did show that Rosa is definitely one of the people that's in the chaser, not champion category. She's better as a chaser. She's not.
It's just terrible because she could give you an incredible match, and
I don't even think they gave her a good chance to be champion. She's pretty
they
much-
didn't. They literally just gave her 2 title defenses, one on Double or Nothing and another one on Dynamite, and then just fucking
Then when she had to vacate the belt,
she had to vacate it.
for the promo time, she just got here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the interim women's championship came.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
That was the stupidest fucking thing you could have done.
Yeah. No,
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I know. I don't disagree with that. She should have just vacated it. And,
Yeah.
It was the same thing with Punk,
yeah.
the interim world champion, and it's like
No,
just fucking vacate the title. Like,
It's stupid in UFC. It's stupid in wrestling.
I mean, hey, now the real world championship is gone. I mean,
Thank
that was another fucking stupid thing.
God.
I'm sorry, like I'm all for Punk, but like, come on, dude. Like, why the fuck would you bring that back? Like, if you're not gonna tease Punk and MJF,
And you can't tell you can't tell me though that if and when they do bring back Rosa, they don't try and pull the exact same thing.
that's what it pissed me off even more. Because like,
That's
they need to stop with that gimmick of I never lost the title. I'm the real champion. Like, stop. It would have been fine if the person after you won it and you went after that person.
right.
But several champions have come a long way, and like, come on, dude.
Exactly. I definitely am full in agreement on.
So anyway, Charlotte Flair advances. The next one, Jason Utami Hayashishita
Mhm.
against Victoria.
It's Vittoria Hayashishita. She's a good prospect over in Stardom. Recently just came over to the States for GCW against Billy Starks.
Yes.
But she's in the beginnings of her career. Victoria, doesn't get enough credit for the in that early 2000s run, and even did some decent stuff when she was in Impact.
Okay.
In 2009, 2010. So I will go with Victoria / Tara.
Is this another unanimous? Victoria?
Absolutely.
Oh, this next one. I'm going to give it to Pat.
Edge.
Lance Storm and Edge versus TLC 2.
Versus Edge.
No, it's Sexton Hardcastle.
Versus his AEW name, Quarter.
Damon Straker.
Baron Bleed.
Another one of his names.
All right. Athena, arguably the best women's wrestler today. Athena versus Jordan Grace.
Ooh.
A matchup that I would love to see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if Athena ever goes to Impact.
Or if Jordan Grace ever decides to make a Ring of Honor appearance.
Well, that's never going to happen.
No, especially with Gresham. No.
There's somebody that takes this PWI ranking seriously. Never mind.
Yeah, and look what it's done to his career ever since then.
I can't believe you fucking used that to try to keep the title. That was the.
You can't. That's something. I'm sorry. That is something you cannot come back from. I don't care how good of a wrestler you are, and Gresham is. But it's you can't come back from that.
No.
He was what, top 10 last year, right?
Yeah, because
and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in the top 10. I'm not dropping this title." And then look at you, you fucking got squashed by Claudio.
And you're not even doing anything in the X division. They don't even do anything with you in Impact.
That's what threw me off. I'm like, he signed to Impact, and
they don't even do anything with him.
Talk about a career killer. Anyway, Jordan Grace, the more successful out of the two.
It is a tough debate, but I think I'm going to go with Athena here.
Fair.
Including the rest of her career, I've even going with it may have not been what she probably deserved in NXT, but she was eventually the top of NXT.
Yes.
She should have been the person to beat Asuka before
Asuka.
Yep.
And that severely handicapped her going forward.
Yeah.
But she's also proven that she's actually been the top of 2 different promotions, depending on how you think about Ring of Honor currently.
Exactly.
And Jordan's really only reached the top of Impact, which
several times,
but it's really only one place as compared to Athena.
I mean, Jordan's done stuff indie-wise outside of Impact, but not as prominent as she's doing in Impact. She's pretty much outside of what we talked about with Mickey and Gail Kim. Jordan's up there in terms of being the face of the division.
She's definitely improved her stock over the last year. She's definitely got that top 5, I think, in terms of the greatest knockouts.
Yeah. Up there with Mickey and Gail, and arguably a Deonna Purrazzo and
Kong. I think
and Kong. That's our top 5 right there. Yeah,
5. Yeah.
So I guess we're all in agreement that Athena's advancing, or we got some arguments here.
I actually would go with Jordan here.
Ooh,
I would actually go with Jordan because with Jordan, at least it's been consistent, like the runs on top and whatnot. Where Athena, like I said, you kind of you get your legs cut out from under you. Yes, you won the belt, but you didn't beat Asuka. Here's consolation prize, and we're just waiting to start cooking Shayna Baszler. And once we got her,
I was going to say, the Baszler feud didn't really help her.
Then you did nothing on the main roster. Yes, she got hurt a couple of times. Then they bring you back to NXT thinking, okay, we're going to do something with you now. Didn't do anything with you even then. You had a random 1 or 2 week women's tag title run, and that was it. And
she got the tag titles with Shotzi, and then she got released.
Yeah. And
then also called up with Tegan Knox and not
exactly. Yeah.
And then it was not smooth as sailings when she initially came into AEW, because it initially was not, as a babyface, it was not working when they put her up against Jade. And just the randomest of things, that one dark match, that one viral with her and Jody Fret, where everybody thought she was being too stiff. It actually was in hindsight, it was a blessing in disguise, because it allowed them to actually go with a character change and do into what she's been doing today. And for the last year, dominating Ring of Honor. And that's, other than Claudio, she's the reason to watch that weekly TV, especially over the last few months with what they've been doing with her and Billy.
If you want to be honest, I think she's doing better than Claudio. She's literally the face of that company right now.
I would actually agree with that. I think I mean that's going to change. You know,
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying like it sucks.
I think that's going to change because I think Eddie's winning the belt on Wednesday.
Oh yeah. But it sucks that Ring of Honor's not on it's only on like a streaming app. It's not really on TV.
All it counts is that he tried to get it put on and they just didn't want it.
Because nobody wants Ring of Honor anymore. But like Athena, and it does help with Billy Starks being under her wing, because Billy can learn a lot working with Athena, and them two working together. It's actually good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed from what I saw. And like Athena is literally the MVP of that company in the past year.
The Willow Nightingale that main event of the last one.
We'll talk about it later on, down the road, but that's a match of the year candidate right there. 100%. Athena and Willow Nightingale. Like, and Athena, the work she's done. Didn't she have a match with Mercedes Martinez?
Yes, that was the match for winning the championship.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
got injured too.
Yeah, and she had a pre-career also, Shimmer and Indies and stuff like that before getting signed.
But you're sticking to Jordan Grace.
I'm sticking with Jordan because there's more. There's not the peaks and valleys.
It's more consistency.
Yes. Okay. Jordan has been 100% consistent since they signed her 5 years ago. And again, she's had a really good run and worked with a bunch of people and has had great matches, and it hasn't been that of her person. It's been a two to tango. And
do we think Jordan is a for lifer at Impact?
Probably. I think she is. I've especially given the fact that from what I did research on and all that she makes way more money with the outside stuff that she does than even her contract. It's like, well, why would you go to another place that's probably going to limit you trying to make that money off those outside projects?
True.
And I've always gotten the impression of her, especially over the last couple of years, she'd rather be a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah, and I slowly, I think she's gonna call it. I don't think she's gonna call it quits, but I think she's gonna call it a career maybe in a couple years.
Yeah,
she's slowly going to that bodybuilding and like her outside stuff, and she's trying to gain success with that. And
if you didn't know that, listen to her voice. But I'm just gonna
Anyway, so we're 1-1. Joe, you're the deciding factor. I'm sorry.
Well, I was having a hard time when you were announcing this one, so at least I got the ball.
Yeah, time to think.
More Wolf in my head, I was originally thinking Athena because of her longer career, and I do agree is especially that Jordan did leave Impact for a little bit for a few months, but decided to go back. I do think Jordan is either a lifer or going to phase into bodybuilding full time. But that said, Athena is always somebody I feel like there should be more for, but she's never gotten it. Yes, she's women's champion. Yeah, but she got it because Asuka vacated the title. She didn't beat it. She didn't get the strong win by beating Asuka. So at least
which she should have,
Yeah, she's doing Grace ROH Women's Champion. Yeah, but she should be tearing up on Dynamite and Collision every week.
Thank you.
Both her skills.
Thank you.
Her NXT run with Shotzi was actually a tag team I did like because they won it.
It actually worked, yeah.
And they had a nice feud with the Way, going back to Candice and Indy with the heel run.
Yeah.
There was a free fight finale. But they didn't do nothing with her after that, and she gets released. Where Impact's always stayed loyal and consistent in Jordan, and she is a top 5 knockout for them. I am willing to give that to Jordan now.
Fair.
So
as far as the work Athena's done, we can pretty much.
To me, Jordan's always been in the top, even when she's not the champ.
Yeah, exactly. She's that name. It's like if Charlotte and Becky weren't champs. They're still
Yeah, they're still
that
Charlotte.
name.
Yes, I would go with Jordan too, barely over Athena.
Outside of what Athena's done, we could safely
Right,
say
right.
that
But even then, she should be seen by the masses in AEW.
Athena should be on Dynamite and Collision, which pisses me off because it's like.
I mean, I get Britt Baker weekly, but I can't get Athena weekly.
But it's not even. No, he has a point because you're seeing the Ring of Honor World Tag Champs. You're seeing the Ring of Honor Champion weekly basis.
Yeah.
Where's Athena?
Literally, this week we have a trios title match set up for Grand Slam for ROH.
Yeah.
The Embassy and the Elite.
Yeah.
But Aussie, but
It's the Embassy. You have Aussie Open versus FTR at Wrestle Dream.
Yeah.
I'm cool MJF list, like for the tag titles down the line. But
Which it looks like as of right now, it's either the Kingdom or it's the Righteous.
Right. Yeah. And A Kingston Claudio's get a Grand Slam spot, but
I feel like that's main eventing.
I think so because of New York.
It has to.
Athena's getting nothing.
It's MJF and Joe.
Oh, yeah, it's MJF and Joe.
Oh, right. I forgot about MJF.
Yeah, as much as I love Eddie and Claudio, it's like, no.
And Claudio opens. Then.
I think
Is
they're
there-
going to open.
It's either that or Jericho and Sammy.
But yeah, I'm going with Jordan because
Okay.
should still be on TV.
Outside of what Athena's done and her not being on TV on a weekly basis, we can all agree that the feud with Asuka killed it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it killed the momentum.
And I said, so yeah.
Okay.
It killed it in a good way, but killed it in badly. If that makes
True.
sense. It was a great feud.
Okay.
But she should have went over in the end.
Fair. So
But
Jordan Grace by
I hear
thin hair will advance. Okay. The next one, Jason. Mako Satomura
Hmm.
against Rosemary.
Hmm.
And remember, everything goes into the factor.
It's a lot tougher, I think, than people would think it is.
I agree. I agree.
It actually is. Miko Satomura, like obviously the NXT UK run has been great. Yeah, at the twilight of her career, but obviously all the stuff she had done previously in Japan.
Yeah.
Rosemary, it's very interesting with her because I think in that weird transition phase that Impact had from the Dixie Carter days into the Scott D'Amore Anthem days.
Yeah.
I don't think right now she gets enough credit for being able to keep that division going.
Yeah.
As Knockouts champion, and the several times that she had that belt, and just the way she was able to change her character from when she was on the Independents in Shimmer as lovable Courtney Rush to being this demon, demented character and making a whole universe out of it.
Exactly.
With the Undead Realm stuff, I'm going to give the slight edge to Rosemary.
Ooh, okay. Rosemary gets a vote. Pat?
I mean, I got to go with the a few decades long career in Mako here. Yeah, I think Rosemary does deserve her flowers there. As you said, she did help transition the Knockouts from the past era to this current era, and
Fair.
even continuing with that.
Okay.
But I think it's hard to be Mako's reputation over 4 decades at this point.
Yeah, it's a while.
It's about 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, she has, I don't know where she's at now, but it's about 4 decades long because I think she worked WCW, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
In the early days.
Yeah.
So 1 for
She's
Mako,
only
1 for Rosemary.
Yeah, she started in 1995.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about 4 decades.
Yeah.
Joe, deciding factor again.
I love Rosemary's character work. Her in-ring's underrated, but I love her for her character work. But you're going to be hard-pressed to find me voting against Mako. So I'm going Mako.
But all flowers go to Rosemary, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I love it
absolutely.
one. Yeah.
I agree with Jason. Like, I think Rosemary, if you want to call it, she's underrated. If
Yes.
you want to call it that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
underrated and overlooked a lot. And
Because I
it's
think because again the women's wrestlers of today have all of them have the great matches, and while she hasn't put on like amazing matches, she knows what she is as a character, and that translates into the matches.
yeah, exactly.
That kid, you don't expect Rosemary to have these amazing 5-star matches. You expect her to have matches that bring about her character, and she did do that.
Yeah, and she gives in the work, and she shows you the work.
With Taya, with Sue, when Mia Yim was around as Jade over an Impact.
Yeah,
they all
she gave Taya her best match.
Yes,
like in my opinion.
Yes, 100%.
So Mako Satomura will advance. The next one will go to Joe first. That way you're not last.
I'll cover it. I'll be last.
Kaylee Ray or Alba Fire, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let's just stick with Kaylee Ray, please.
Kaylee Ray. But don't forget Alba Fire does play a factor because it's still her. Kaylee Ray from Indies and now against AJ Lee.
This is an interesting one because I know Kaylee Ray has like a longer career.
Yes.
Like a wrestling. And she's done great stuff in the UKC and NXT UK.
Yes.
The UK Indies, NXT UK. At Alba Fire, she was consistently on TV every week.
She was
one of the best workers. She did help out the girls in that NXT Women's division by being one of arguably the best worker in the division at that time.
Exactly.
I thought she helped Mandy along the way.
Yeah.
For instance, her
Big part of helping Mandy. Yes.
Like, her main roster run, I don't know what happened. It was toast.
It pisses me off.
Yeah, no, it does. They called those two. They called those two up just to call them up, and they did nothing with them.
They literally were just. They were literally just pawns for Ronda and Shayna, and they were like, "Okay, well, we'll
just so we can retire the NXT Women's title.
Yeah, we'll just go put you in the box of toys over here that we're not using."
And you haven't been used ever since. Like
back on the road.
Exactly.
They worked a dark match last week's SmackDown
against Zelina and Michin. Yeah.
So,
like,
but,
what the fuck?
But AJ for her short run literally carried a dead division on her shoulders.
That is true. That is true.
That's probably why she had to retire with her band back. Because she carried her
Hold up, though. Hold up. She's got a point. Like, all jokes aside.
There was nobody else in that division, though. That was... Okay, my fault. Caitlyn tried.
And then you had... And then what? Right after that was Nikki Bella?
Right, so other than Natalia and Caitlyn... for a little bit, and Naomi, who always...
We will not have Nikki Bella slander on this podcast.
and well, that version of Nikki Bella I will slander. 2016 on is different, but
yeah.
But before that run, no. But besides AJ and Natalia and Caitlyn a little bit, and Naomi, who did try but couldn't always put together until recent years.
She was still a funkadactyl at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
That she broke her back carrying that division.
Yeah.
And she gets her flowers now, and she still gets that as AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going AJ?
AJ.
Okay, so one for AJ, Pat.
Well, here's the hypothetical. Whose career is more important to WWE, The Rock's or Goldust's?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Goldust,
highly important, had multiple runs with the company over multiple decades. The Rock's run really only lasted, what?
7
years?
years.
6 years?
7 years full-time run. Yeah, 7, 8 years.
It wasn't that long, but Rock could be considered on the Mount Rushmore of WWE.
Whereas Goldust, he was, yeah.
I got to go with AJ Lee on this one.
That is okay. I can see where you went with that. Holy
she broke
shit!
Her back carrying division, had to retire.
Yeah.
That is true. I thought was it her back? I thought it was her neck.
My fault. Broke her neck.
Her neck, yeah.
Well, either way, she broke.
Either way, yeah. And without AJ, we wouldn't get Paige.
Oh wait,
Well,
hold on. Let's change my road to Kaylee right now.
We also
hold on.
I'm just saying.
I'll help you out. We also wouldn't have a Roxanne or Cora
Okay, fine.
in the current generation.
And a Bailey, if you want to think about it.
It is a shame though, from breaking her neck carrying that division, She
Yeah.
couldn't work with the Baileys and the Charlottes
Yeah.
and the Sasas and the Asukas
Yeah.
and Becky's.
She was the one that
I mean-
chose. Oh, she was the one that chose to leave.
I mean, she
Wow.
did that show Heels. She looked great.
Yeah.
I mean, but she
I-
also
I was going to go with Kaylee Ray on this one because I think AJ's run is completely overrated.
really.
I think it's completely overrated. I think people prop her up because she's married to Punk. I'm sorry.
No,
I think it's
dude.
totally that. It is totally that. I
Dude,
don't-
okay,
yeah,
fair.
yeah,
fair.
No, I would have gone with Kaylee Ray.
Outside of,
AJ's better talking to her, but that's about it.
I mean, Kaylee Ray's not bad on the mic. It's
She's
just
not bad about me. I'm just saying that AJ, of the two in terms of promo ability, I would go with AJ, but that's where the line stops.
I mean, yeah, but Pat did bring up a good point though, in terms of name value and what they've done for the company and who, regardless of what Kaylee Ray's done in the past, who's more remembered? AJ.
And it's mostly remembered by people that are fans of CM Punk.
That's because you just hate Phil, Jason.
Well, he's easy to hate, so I mean,
Leave Phil out of this. So AJ will advance. Oh fuck! I'm sorry, guys. Jason, the next one's yours.
You're so sorry.
Becky Lynch versus
Beth Phoenix
Oh.
versus Sasha Banks.
That's Edge's wife. And Edge's other woman, Leah, I got first.
I'm giving Pat a break. Jason, Beth Phoenix versus Sasha Banks.
I think I see a Punk, female Punk.
Yeah, really.
The female Edge versus the female, Punk.
Nah, Beth doesn't sleep around like that.
Yeah, true.
Well, Beth unfortunately at one point had the taste of our friend Phil too. So,
Yes, that's true.
I'm gonna go with Beth.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beth
Matt?
didn't spend a whole overnight thing crying in a hotel room over losing the fucking tag belt. Like, get the fuck over yourself.
It's not just the tag belts. It's fucking like the planned match that she had was fucking what's it call it? The fatal 4-way that she was supposed to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, crying about it. Yeah.
Like, get the fuck over yourself. Like,
So okay, one for Beth. Pat.
Yeah, Sasha can be very emotional with her decisions, but I think overall, I think the importance of her career, I think, is a little higher than Beth, and maybe that is hampered because Beth wasn't the era she was in.
Yeah.
Her full-time run. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sasha here.
Okay.
Because she had the ability to show off her talent and show off the importance and even help build that period for WWE. So
Fair. Okay. So one for Sasha, one for Beth. Joe.
I'm so sure I'm not even in the camera. You can see me think it. I put my head down. I wasn't even in the camera. I was stuck with eliminating Beth last time. Charlotte in the first round. Now I'm stuck with Beth and another horsewoman.
You're at a loss here.
Yes, because I know, and probably in wrestling, Sasha is the bigger star. I get that.
Okay.
Beth, like AJ, who just won now, I will be remiss if I didn't say this argument, carried a dead division.
sure.
And gave Kelly her best match. That's not saying much, but still.
I should put it over the top right there.
Yeah.
Dead division, other than like Natalia. Again.
And she worked as a tag team with Natalia, so yeah.
He was
And ironically, they were in that 4-way that made Sasha cry.
That is true.
Beth hit the glide slam on Bailey off the top rope.
And
Yeah.
the Iconics came in for the pin. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that iconic moment of Sasha crying will be remembered.
Jesus, I didn't even think of that.
I hate voting against Beth twice. Sasha is the horsewoman I'm willing to spear about for that right now.
Okay.
Sasha is your favorite horsewoman, so that is a statement in
She
itself.
is my favorite, but overall, I also have issues with the way she acts at times.
Yeah.
And I just play a part with me. I'm going with Beth.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
That's gonna get people pissed.
Well, come back.
Well, good. Then you can then you can
Don't
have
leave
fun.
me in that fire, you piece of shit.
I do OG.
They can send it to me. They can send it to me, and I can explain to them why their favorite is a egomaniacal piece of crap.
Okay, I didn't go that far. But
Fair.
I do owe Jason a thank you though, because he did put Ruby in for me over Paige. So this guy balances out.
There you go.
Yes.
There you
Yes.
go. So
Return the favor. I appreciate it.
Beth Phoenix survives.
Like,
Beth Phoenix survives this tournament and gets on to the second round.
well, she should though.
True.
That's why I said it wrong.
That is true. And she had a little bit of her little comeback there where she helped.
Comeback, she did great, and I wish she kind of had a run.
Yeah.
She kind of helped elevate Rhea Ripley.
Yeah,
Like-
I think the missed opportunities they didn't do a singles with that. But
I was gonna say I feel like they should have pulled the trigger at SummerSlam with Rhea and Beth.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Granted, I think it's too little, too late to have the feud
it's
because
too late now.
because like
Hey,
it was
hey,
perfect from what she did at Extreme Rules, and then the Rumble comeback, and then
Yeah, it's like they did the mixed tag, but it's like I think it would have been better suited to do a singles match.
like I would have been fine doing the singles match there and have
they-
Rhea
they-
go over Beth and
The singles match at Chamber, because you were getting Edge and Finn and Mania.
exactly, and that's the thing. Like I feel like if you had Rhea Beth at that Chamber, it would have been a perfect momentum push for Rhea to put over Beth or Rhea to go over Beth and then have that momentum going against Charlotte.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But they had her lose the mixed tag, which I don't understand. But whatever. Beth will advance. I feel like the next one could be unanimous. Joe,
Yes.
Raquel Gonzalez
Okay.
against Awesome Kong.
For me, it's Kong.
Oh, yeah.
Raquel, I do like. But on the main roster, she's been given a chance to succeed.
Yeah.
In terms of her push, but she doesn't connect as a babyface. I don't care what her back looks like. I want to see her as the heel that she was at NXT.
Yeah.
She hasn't really connected with a push as a smiley, look at my back baby face. And then they put Nia Jax back to put her over down the line, probably.
No,
Well, no, we got told about Raquel Cera. It is current enough.
That is true.
Hey,
Fuck it. Oh, God.
first of all, Nia was not a surprise. Triple H has love for all his black and gold people, number one. So that didn't
Yes.
surprise me. And number two, the backstage promo Raquel cut like an hour or two before the match. I'm not like most people. We both looked at each other and said, Nia.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, folks, is why Triple H will not win Booker of the Year.
And here's the thing. I think it's-
I don't know. I mean, apparently Nia Jax was a Vince call, so I don't know.
I doubt that. And Triple H has love for all his black and gold people. This is the one that released on it.
Yeah, because what was it? She didn't want to get the vaccine or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. And she
But now
also-
that COVID's over, I mean, Vince has love for the Samoan family. I mean,
Well, throw her in his bloodline, why don't you?
Nia Jax,
Seriously, I'm not even joking. Throw her in the bloodline.
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be all that bad since the bloodline be running that storyline around her.
right. That's the difference. They're not.
and if the Judgment Day's in the mix, there you go.
Right. I like
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Here's the thing. Nia, they want Raquel over as a babyface. Clearly on the main roster. Nia, what type of boost she gets, she does get a reaction.
She does. She does.
That heat will translate into a big babyface win eventually for Raquel.
I mean, it's obviously going to be the feud going forward, but you're right on that. Yeah.
I'm not saying the match should be good, but that's not important. What's important is keep following getting Raquel hot crown.
Yeah.
If,
Yeah.
If you want her as a babyface Bayley. An easy heel turn was the other live, but I mean,
and hopefully injuries are kept to a minimum with Raquel.
Right.
Or not Raquel. No.
I will say this. Nia did,
if you
Nia
watch
was
Monday, it
great.
may have already gotten started.
Hey,
Yeah.
her moves still look rough. With that being said, Raquel's nowhere to cock.
No. No. So unanimous here.
Absolutely.
It's calm.
And like I saw this the other day, fucking Stevie Richards fucking critique Nia Jax comeback.
Yeah, I see this TikTok.
I actually like it. I actually like his analytic videos.
No, and Stevie Richards is he's a good mind for the business. Like he's someone to listen to. But him critiquing Nia Jax's comeback with those 6 minutes was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even I'm not even a full trained professional wrestler, and I knew the mistakes Nia was making, and I knew the mistakes Raquel was making. Like Raquel no-sold the shit out of the Samoan drop, and Nia didn't even do the bonsai drop correctly. She legit could have ruined Rhea's career right there.
Yeah, because like you pop out a titty, it's like, well, guess what?
Not even that. She could have even cracked like a few ribs, and Rhea would have been on the shelf. Like,
Literally, I was not surprised she was back.
And another thing, Nia attacked Raquel. Why the fuck would you attack Rhea? What are you doing? What are we doing here?
I'm a tweener.
Who was Nia gonna feud with? Like,
She wants the title. That's what they're doing with that. Because
Like-
going soon is a big Amazonian type freeway between the three of them.
it's not even that. It's like Rhea's probably one of the biggest faces in the company now,
No, I
but
agree
she's
with you.
classified as a heel.
I
But with this, she's already over. She's already over as it is. But the thing is, are they gonna try to turn her back babyface with Nia? Like,
I feel like she's gonna be a tweener in the feud with Nia, and obviously be full heel when you get to Becky.
or Liv, depending on what the situation is.
But this is clearly back. It's a tale.
It's
of
gonna
two
be
feints.
Becky. It's gonna be Becky.
Well, it's a tale of two feints. Becky getting the NXT Women's Belt, coupled with Nia showing up on the same week. It's clearly we're separating these two.
Yeah,
There's
just to
stuff
keep
do
them.
throughout the following winter.
Yeah,
And then when we get to Rumble time, we're putting them back together.
That's
just to let them.
yeah, that's all.
Yeah, so enjoy your fall Raw Women's Division, everybody. It's gonna be a fucking shit show.
Like that was legitimately like my face when Nia showed up. I was like, "Fuck."
No,
What?
I was
As soon as I seen the back of her head, I just stared at Joe. Like, really?
It's like
As soon as I saw her grab Raquel, I was like, "Fuck."
I had no reaction because I had a feeling. I've been waiting for her to pop up since the Rumble. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, since the butcher number 30, yeah.
Because my whole thing was when Sonya went down, I even said it, Pat. Watch them do Nia as Chelsea's partner because like a bodyguard monster.
Oh,
thankfully they picked the better person to do that.
yeah, they brought back Piper and everything.
They went in that direction.
I cracked up. They killed the shit out of that storyline real quick. Because they were like, a week ago, it was like, oh, Piper's not medically cleared. A week later, she's back. And it's like, you guys killed the shit out of that. Like, I feel like because they were getting the rumblings of the tag titles being cursed and
Yeah.
Chelsea needs to find a new partner again. And it's like, Piper's like, nah, fuck that. I'm coming back.
With that being said, though, I will prefer Nia. Well, hear me out. I will prefer Nia as Chelsea's partner if it meant Piper was getting the main event push that Nia's going to get.
I could see that. I could
Yeah.
see that. Like,
I will prefer Nia more in the tag division where she didn't have to do a lot of work.
I would rather Piper be.
I'd rather her just be unemployed, but that's
Well, yeah, wait, Marie.
I mean, I don't wish unemployment on anybody, but like, you know,
when you hurt not just one but like 5 or 6 people, no, I actually do.
No, I agree with you.
You
I
don't
agree
deserve to
with
have a
you.
contract if you're hurting people left.
that is true. That is
And
true.
by the way, I don't believe the rumors that she's just got signed a month ago.
No,
No.
she was in their back pocket for the whole year, and like they
Yeah,
were
and
just
that's
bringing
why
her
they-
back now.
And guess what? They've been probably having to trying to explain to the roster for the last 6 months that can we please
We're
have
gonna
you
have to
work
work
with this
around
person?
this.
Yeah, like look, Nia's a little better now. Like, can we like?
She's
No, she's
good
not.
now. No, she's
No,
not.
she's not.
She lost weight.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
won't get hurt as much.
But they
That's
saw
not-
what they did to the women's champ, and it's like, oh shit, come on.
fuck.
Like, this is our money maker, and you're
Like-
going to her your first night in. Like,
I will be.
to me, if I'm Hunter, I see she comes to her, bye.
I won't be
Bye.
surprised if come Monday, she's gonna have like a squash match with fucking Tegan Knox or Candice LeRae, and
Yeah,
fucking,
that's definitely
Oh yeah,
happening.
that's what you guys said.
and she's gonna put Tegan on the shelf for life, like with another knee injury. Like, oh, you got 2 bad knees? Psych. Goodbye. Like, or Candice. She's gonna send Candice into motherhood for life. Like, okay, go be a mother. Goodbye. Like, oh,
All I'm saying
I'm
is,
worried.
If there's a woman on the roster that have implants, I will go get a reduction because
Well,
I would go get a reduction.
well, then keep Natalia away from Nia.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, Natalia needs that freaking sister fucking
Jenny.
photo
Yeah.
shoot business.
Yeah.
Hire-
Okay. No. I will not be surprised. However, I will not be surprised if she does eventually become into the WWE. I will not be surprised if that's Jade's first feud.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, that's the blind leading the blind.
Yep.
That would be great. That would be a great match.
I will not be surprised if that's Jade's first Mania match is Nia
I will
Jax.
say this: Jade's a lot.
I don't like Jay, but I wouldn't wish that on her at all.
Yeah.
Jade's
Another
a-
thing,
I think Jade or Nia.
another thing with Nia, keep Shayna Baszler the fuck away from her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please. Like, I like this dynamic with Shayna and Zoe.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it does scream we have nothing to do with either one of you right now.
It's not even that. It's not even that.
It's
It's like two women that are completely badass in the ring and like can work a match. I like that dynamic. It's good.
It's very Cesaro and Sheamus, and they had
And that's good.
a match with each other. It was good. They showed respect, and now, hey, we're going to be a tag team now.
And that, no, I'm completely fine with
No,
that.
it's totally,
It's good.
that's totally fine to do it.
Keep Nia out of that mix.
Again, just keep her out of the fucking company.
Just
I
keep
mean,
Nia away from Shayna. That's all.
Okay. So, Nia aside, we have Awesome Kong advancing. Another.
Somebody that knows how to use their size.
Exactly.
Hey, just ask Reby Sky and Bubba the Love Sponge.
Not even that. Fucking Awesome Kong wrestled pregnant. And that was, yeah, that was great.
Also, Khan was advanced just for what she did at Bubba Wall Spawn and Remy Sky. So,
Damn. So Awesome Kong advances. Speaking of Rhea Ripley, Joe, Rhea Ripley, and I made a last minute substitution. I took out Rio. I did.
Wee-hoo!
And I put in Emi Sakura. But considering her AEW work, I did some research and I followed her work in the past. It's incredible work. She's, Miss Freddie Mercury over here. But I did enjoy her work, and I prefer her over Riho because I don't really know much of Rio just besides, the pipe. But, like, I prefer her in this bracket over Riho. So that's why I put her. As far as the matchup goes, I
think
put
either
her.
way I think either way it's an automatic squash match. So
Everyone's going Rhea. We don't even have to.
well, thank you.
Okay, Jason just said it for everybody. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, Jason, I'm going to give you this next one.
okay.
It's the battle of two problematic people.
Again.
Arguably, probably the two of the most problematic.
Felina Brooks
okay.
and,
No.
and Jamie Cornette.
Jamie Cornette. Is that his
Dixie
name?
Carter.
Is that his name when his wife gets cupped by fucking people?
Jamie Carter. Or Jamie Carter. Okay. I said Carter. Ronda Rousey against Tessa Blanchard.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
I said problematic.
Yeah, this is worse than my bad Sasha for eliminating it.
No, it's still fine. It's still fine.
I'm sorry, Punk.
These two are. I mean,
That Philomena Brooks deserves that.
Philomena Brooks.
Philomena Brooks.
Ooh.
Well, I think it comes down to a very simple thing here. One has talent, the other does not. I'm moving on Tessa Blanchard.
Ooh, okay. Pat?
Let me see. Oh, no, I think
It's mine.
You trying to jump the gun.
Jason spoke for me last time. He chose Rhea.
He's like, I'm speaking for you now.
The story about Tessa is her potential that's never got realized because, well,
Yep.
Like father, like daughter.
She showed her true side.
Yeah. She showed her ass, as I guess the kids would say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Ronda here. She was one of the main event. She was a part of the main event of WrestleMania, and without her, it wouldn't have gone on last that night. I'm going with Ronda here.
Ooh.
right.
So Joe.
Joe's not here right now, please.
I'm sorry. Pat 2.0.
Yes. We need a substitute. I need a substitute.
Means you got to be rainbow colored.
My whole thing is Sasha was I said she was proud mad, but that was just because of her attitude. Now I got conspiracy theorists versus a racist.
Oh.
Yeah, Tessa's
He's lost. He doesn't know what to do.
One of these bitches is getting eliminated next round, but Ronda's safe right now. Look at me, Van Mania. Come on. I'm going with Ronda.
Okay.
The main event thing, but they could both go hell.
Take a both gonna.
The main event is she went into business for herself and botched that pin.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Which I still think could have been a great story for her and Becky, but you know.
But it was never a story because she went into business for herself. That wasn't a story.
And then she came back and still went into business for herself.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So it's like I don't particularly care about yes, the whole thing that Tessa did where she refused to drop the bell and wanted all this money and all that. That's whatever. The other stuff has been resolved.
Exactly.
The other with Rosa Nega or whatever, that whole thing's been resolved. So I kind of slide that as water under the bridge. That whole fucking.
And Tessa's working what? AAA now?
Yeah.
XPW.
XPW. Oh shit. Bottom of the barrel. Okay.
Somebody with her talent, as long as she's been doing, shouldn't be there.
It's just Well, no, it's because but that also speaks to today's fucking soft culture too.
She's the biggest. She's a big what if.
Yeah.
I think she's got.
Give it time.
I do think. Here's what I will say in regard to Tessa. I think yes. At that time, should she have been punished and removed and all that from the stuff that came out about her? Yes. However, she's another folk. She's one of the people that really got, I think, unfairly thing with the whole cancel culture speaking out shit. Where it's like
it's because it was at the height of it, and they were like, okay, it's another name to throw.
And realistically, she was actually kind of first. Because that's
true. That's true.
That came out right when she won when she was getting. Literally, that came out the day before. Which I'm sorry, in my whole theoristic opinion, that was planned out for all that stuff to come out about her right as she was about to win that championship. Because everybody knew she was winning that championship from Callahan that day.
Yeah.
And it's just all of a sudden, 24 hours before, we're going to come out with all these stories from all these other indie women's wrestlers saying that she's this, and this. It's like that reeked to me at the time, and it still does, of jealousy.
Like everybody was hating the fact that Tessa was legit going to win the title off Callahan, and
that she was getting opportunities.
What happened? They switched it, right? Callahan ended up winning.
No, she still won.
Oh, she still won, right? Yeah.
But remember, she was living in Mexico at the time.
That's right.
Daga, she stayed in Mexico at when everything shut down. The pandemic.
She held the title hostage, right?
She held it up because they wanted her to fly in for the Slammiversary to drop it, and she refused because of obviously I'm sure probably because of policies or whatever with the COVID stuff. But when you ask for $15,000 or whatever the fuck,
that's too much.
It's like, come on now.
She
Like, that
pulled
was-
it. She pulled a Lunger Blaze. She
yeah,
pulled.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, she definitely did, and I think it's sour. I think it
Sour
you know,
grapes.
it unfortunately, it's like it was kind of a case of like where
Okay.
when those initial allegations happen, it's like okay, they're allegations, whatever the fuck. But when that happens, like see, she's like this, all this and that, and
With Tessa, I feel like if you give it time, she'll be fine. She'll find a place where she fits. That's not
the
XPW.
NWA.
I don't. That's the thing. NWA gets a lot of flack, and I get it. I can see her being a fit there.
No, I
Because-
definitely
He's
can.
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But like,
Exactly.
As a
I
person, she's
don't-
perfect.
Yeah, I think it's a definite what if scenario with Tessa. But pre all that happening, she was one of the best women's wrestlers out there.
oh,
Like
yeah,
from a complete package standpoint, it wasn't just the in ring; it was the character, it was the promos, it was all this
Everything.
and that. And
It just gave her reputation precedes her now.
exactly.
Well,
And
it's
at the
just-
height of, not even just at the height of the cancel culture, it was like the cancel culture was up there with like the Me Too movement. It was
Yes.
right. It was right around. Yeah, it was right around COVID time, and that's
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
they were like, okay, we already have our list for the Me Too movement. Who could we get for cancel culture? And Tessa was
Fine in this.
sadly one of the first victims of that. Not victims, but one of the first names to.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly,
she
casualties.
definitely- Yeah, she was definitely one of them for sure.
But I do
well,
see what you're saying, Jason. Where
I did
all the other former wrestlers and all the other former indie talent that knew Tessa decided to bring all of her dirty laundry up, which did sound like jealousy to me. It was the wrong time.
Yeah.
It was a wrong time because they knew she had a big match. They knew this was a big moment for her, and they were like, you know what? We're gonna drag her in the mud because fuck that. If we can't have that, she can't. Like
that's exactly what it is, and because they were more liked by people, people already had their opinion of Tessa.
Exactly.
They took those people's sides instead, and that's part of the whole cancel culture thing that I can't stand.
that also made Tony Khan said she's never signing Tessa Blanchard. And granted, she was rumored to be WWE bound, but I don't think that's going to be the case either. It's like
No,
Not at all.
WWE has also had problems with her too. It was
exactly.
Mae Young Classic.
yeah, she had the one match. Yeah, she had the one match in the Mae Young class, and she was 1-0, and
Over Kyrie.
apparently there was issues even during when she was there for that.
I completely forgot she was in the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, the original one. Yeah, she was in the original Mae Young Classic.
She lost, right?
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember who they put her with.
Kyrie.
Yeah,
Kyrie. It was Kyrie, yeah.
Yeah, it was Kyrie.
Shit, I should completely forgot about that.
But yeah, but at least she has the ability. Whereas Ronda, the entire run was just living off the stardom from UFC. Like she brought nothing to the table her entire run.
But the thing is, with Ronda, Pat and Joe make a point. It's the main event. And granted, she went into business for herself, but in terms of longevity, Tessa Blanchard's got it. But in terms of name value alone, Ronda's got it.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say, granted, Tessa is miles ahead of Ronda in ring. When it comes to selling tickets, when it comes to counting on the name that can bring asses to seats, Ronda's that person. And
My whole thing with Tessa is we should be talking about Tessa bigger than what we're talking about her.
thank you.
I know. I 100%
That's
agree.
what's- Look, I agree the cancel culture may affect her, but I hate the fact that we're talking about her in XPW. And
Yeah, that's all she. That's all.
When-
she
when-
can do, yeah.
When Tessa right now could be a main event player in Impact or in AEW or Ring of Honor or even in the WWE. She could be
Yeah.
a big name right now. But
I wasn't talking
yeah.
about her in AEW. I was talking about back to Impact. We can't even talk about her having matches with Mickey James or Tasha Steelz or Deanna or Trinity
or Jordan Grace.
or Jordan Grace. She's just
Damn it.
she fell off too fast.
Another talent that was washed away by cancel culture.
But
It-
it
it's
doesn't matter
just-
because one that was good. Whoever one was more likely to get eliminated.
Yeah.
it probably, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tessa's already suffering enough being at the bottom of the barrel at XPW. So it's
Yeah.
You know, I think for her,
for her own sanity, get her out of the first round.
and improve on it.
Yeah. Ronda's gonna be out second round. I know it.
We'll
The next
see.
one, we'll go back to Jason.
Yeah.
Trish Stratus
Okay.
Manami Toyota.
For fuck's sake.
But
Love you, bud.
Again,
Love you,
folks, this is why I say this stuff is not
You
random.
made Pat leave.
The fuck do you mean? It's random. All matchups are going to be tough. Come on.
I might have to talk for Pat too if he goes next.
I mean, come on. I don't know.
Folding chair, so in the stand, so my butt didn't hurt.
Probably the most decorated American female wrestler maybe of all time against definitely the most decorated Japanese female wrestler of all time.
American or Canadian?
North American. There you go.
Well,
There you go.
yeah,
North American. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair point.
It's either her, Charlotte, or Mickey. It's her decorated.
The Canadian wrestling scene just sort of
More
blurs into the American scene anyway.
Yeah,
Fair.
it pretty much is. I mean,
Pretty much the most decorated female wrestler in America versus the most female decorated wrestler in Japan. Like just
it really is.
That sounds like a finals.
I mean, this could be a dream match in itself. So, and that's the thing. You can't even you can't even say shit about Trish now because she proved herself.
No. I mean, I will say this again. If this was a month ago, with how that Becky feud was going up until the payback match,
She shut everybody the fuck up in that payback match.
Yeah.
And it's arguably, it's going to be in discussion when we do, because like when we do the year end, awards, it's going to be match of the year.
It's definitely up there. It's definitely in top 5 right now for WWE match of the year for sure.
Top 5, really?
It's definitely in top 5 for sure.
I mean, I don't even think it was match of the night, but okay.
It's definitely. I think both matches from that payback belong in the WWE.
The tag match, yeah, I was going to say that.
No, I'm saying I put both in that.
As far as women's matches for WWE, yeah, top 5.
Yeah.
That whole year, top 5.
Yeah.
For women, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, Jason. No, I'm not.
You're not, and this is why folks I say it's not random because you're not sorry.
I'm the real villain of Turning Time here.
Well, we already. Come on,
Now I can see why the others hated working with me.
Everybody already knew this. This is not new.
Do not base it off theme song, Jason.
Well, why are you telling me to have a theme song? So how am I supposed to base it off of that?
I'm just saying because I don't know. It's like a last resort. It's like, oh, these two are fucking fantastic. I'm gonna have to go to the theme song here. Like,
so if you need me to, I'll go to the finisher, which I think that put. If I go to the finisher, I think that puts Toyota over the top because the Queen suplex is fucking a fantastic move. And it's like Stratus Fashion is kind of a little too much setup for my liking because we're gonna point for 5 seconds while this opponent just randomly stands here.
I mean, not just she also has just a regular roundhouse kick, but
the chick kick, the chick kick's good,
which I think is more effective than the Stratus Faction. If you want to look at it.
Yeah. Man. I think business wise though, I think Pioneer wise, the fact that was part of a movement that sold out the Tokyo Dome on an all-women's show.
Yeah.
In the late 80s and early 90s. I gotta go Miami Toyota.
Ooh.
I gotta go Miami Toyota, given the fact that like in the late 80s and 90s, All Japan Women was right up there as one of the top Japanese promotions with regular All Japan and New Japan. Think of the talent that was in those companies at that time.
That's true.
And they were right there. She was a big part of that. She wasn't the sole part of that, but she was a big part of that. There was other people right up there equal to her.
Fair enough.
And the same thing you can be said with the movement of the women's division in the early 2000s. Yes, Trish was at the forefront, but there was other people right alongside her. It wasn't just a sole. Like when we talk about Beth carrying the division, AJ Lee carrying the division.
Trish had other people with Lita and Molly Holly.
Trish had to carry the division at the end of her first run.
Yeah.
but in the peak prime years of her run,
She had competition.
she had other people.
At
So,
the end of her first run, because like everybody either retired or was hurt, and was
Yeah.
like, we really need
Including
Trish to
herself.
step up here. Yeah, like,
including herself.
but even then, Trish worked hurt. Like she was like, we really need you
Yeah.
to step up here
Yeah,
and go into.
it was first the back, and then first the back, and then the dislocated wrist.
Yeah,
That happened
and
on
they
that
were literally like, all right, we need you to go in the fourth gear here and fucking carry it.
Which unfortunately that killed that storyline dead in its tracks. That her having that dislocated wrist that killed off the Mickey storyline.
Yeah,
They couldn't. Yeah, and then right after that, she was like, "You know what? I'm done. I'm done. I can't keep having these."
give it to Lita for another year. I'm out. And
Yeah.
then Lita left, and then it was
It's
just,
like, I'm out. Peace out.
it was literally just the
Lita-
Mickey
Lita
James
later,
show.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mickey James and Melina show.
Trish left at Unforgiven. Lee left at Snarkster.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, same year. I was gonna say same year.
Same
And
Within 2
year.
months.
Lita,
Yeah.
Lita was like, I'm done too. Like I'm not doing this without Trish. So
Then they turned-
after
then
that,
they-
I was
Yeah. But yeah, I think just in terms of pioneer wise and whatnot, I'm going to go with Miami Toyota.
okay. All right, Pat. This might be an upset.
Yeah, not being a big Japanese promotion fan, Manami Toyota is one of the few names I've actually heard of,
Okay.
and largely on reputation.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I have to go with Toyota here.
Oh. Okay. Joe.
I was already because I already knew about the Tokyo Dome thing was the thing put me over the top
Yeah.
for my Manami.
Yeah.
And then Jason mentioned I was going to mention that anyway because I did know. I had a little bit I've seen of her, but yeah, it had to be her just for that alone because she was the top girl there. Where Trish obviously was the top girl, but the division wasn't pushed as much as it is now.
Fair
Trish
enough.
was
So
the top girl.
Yeah.
this is a different bracket because, like we said, if this was
Remember,
WWE,
Remember, Ronda and Tessa had a chance, people, but Trish.
hold on. But we did state this in the last bracket when Trish beat out Gail Kim in the first round.
Yeah,
We did state if it was an overall wrestler, it'd be a different story because
right.
Trish hasn't done anything outside of WWE.
Oh no, I'm not mad at. I'm glad Trish looks like a Manami than Ronda or Tessa. I'm just saying that Ronda.
This is going to be the new thing going forward. Ronda and Tessa.
Right.
Ronda and Tessa joins the illustrious list of Edge and Lance Storm and
Layla and
Layla
Mandy
and
Rose.
But you know what? Screw all those people. This is a bigger one for me. You'll be hearing about this one next year or two.
Oh,
Jesus.
Jesus.
Natalia went pretty far in the WWE Women's
What's
World.
different? Natalia is a hard worker. That's
She
the
is,
difference.
yeah.
Natalia's more of a workhorse than Ronda and
Yeah.
Tessa. So, yeah.
But Natalia got
But
easy
saying-
bonus.
Yeah, but saying that she belongs in the top 4 all time
In
is,
WWE.
is a bit of a stretch. It just
She
she
had
had.
It's just the way the bracket fell. Yeah.
She ran to Becky. That's
Yeah.
literally what eliminated her.
Yeah.
Or the way Natalia was going, she was in the finals almost. And she
Almost.
ran to Becky.
Yeah.
That's true. So, Manami Toyota advances. I'm not mad at this. This is honestly, it's not even an upset. I'm not mad at this. The next one, Joe.
Yes.
Dr. Britt Baker
DMD.
against, and yes, she's actually in this bracket. Britt Baker is in this bracket against,
Actually, hello. Come on now.
I mean,
What AEW needs some sort of representation.
something against Molly Holly.
Molly Holly.
Fuck.
I mean, Molly's just done more for the woman wrestling.
Yeah, okay, fair. And she's still doing it backstage.
He wants to get second.
Can I do this one?
Go ahead, Pat.
Well, I might have more recent experience with Britt Baker, but that leaves me to pick Molly Holly.
God, I thought I wasn't a big fan of Britt. I think. Never mind.
Ugh. Jason,
That's what I said.
I was going to go Britt Baker.
over Molly?
Yes. And because we used that star power argument earlier, so let's be consistent.
But that's the
now.
thing. Okay,
Let's be
fair.
consistent, guys. We're going to use it on one. Let's use it on another.
But the thing is, Molly was in competition with Trish and Lita, but she also helped. I honestly want to say Molly helped elevate Trish.
Molly was Molly was very much like Dakota Kai and Liv Morgan.
But Molly was a champion, and she helped elevate names like Trish and Victoria and even Alita. Molly was a champion.
She was even the top of the division.
Thank you.
Involved.
Molly was a big name, and I said this in the WWE Women's bracket. No, hold on. I said this in the WWE Women's bracket. Molly Holly back then is what Bayley is today. Consistent, in-ring, that reliable woman you can go to give you something. Incredible, and help elevate a name.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Well,
granted, I'm not okay. We may joke about Britt Baker. I'm not shitting on what she's done. She's the face of outside of the champs. Britt Baker is.
To be fair,
granted, Britt Baker is miles ahead. The face of the women's division, whether if it's on Dynamite, Rampage, or Collision, Britt Baker is the face. And I give her a lot of credit with juggling two careers at once, being a dentist and being an in-ring wrestler. Like I give her a whole lot of credit for that because not a lot of people can say they do that. Do I think Britt Baker? Granted, the matches she's had. She's only had a few good that I can remember.
She has the match from last night. And
her match with Thunder Rosa was easily the best she's had.
Yeah.
The two that she's had, which was the cage match and what was it, a street fight?
The Lights Out.
The Lights Out match, which put her on the map if you want to think about it.
No, it did. It 100% did. No, I don't think that's not going to be disputed in regards.
No, that easily put her on the map, and you could thank Thunder Rosa for that too. But the thing is, outside of her losing that women's title, you can't give me a match that is remembered recently from Britt Baker. Outside of Last Night Now, which she proved everyone wrong that she could work. And it was good. She did.
I'm going to go on. Here's what I want to say with the whole last year thing. To me, I think they've put the brakes on her in terms of emphasizing her as the top person and all that in terms of holding the championship because of the backlash that was seen online.
But here's the thing. You also had an opportunity to put Britt Baker with Jade Cargill. Why didn't they?
I don't ask me. Like I think
that's the thing. Me
and my friend both said this. They have her lose too much. If she's if she's the face of the division, she shouldn't be losing as much as she does.
No. She's losing a lot because she's helping get women get over, that's a good thing.
I think she's losing a lot because they
it's backlash.
They hear the thing that she wins all the time, so we're gonna have her lose.
It's not even that she wins all the time; it's because of what happened. And granted, I feel like what happened with Thunder Rosa put a dent in her career right now. Like I feel like the backlash that she's had with Thunder Rosa, honestly.
And I think people are taking one side instead of seeing that there was again a previous history of Thunder Rosa having attitude problems. It's not just one person.
That's okay, but it all falls on Tony Khan. It all falls on Tony Khan looking at what's on social media because he runs this company off social media. You can tell.
I agree. Yes,
he runs this company of what he sees on social media.
Yeah.
Hence the dream matches. Hence matches with no story. He goes off.
Hence, we had Evil Uno scheduled against Anthony Bowens. Everybody shout on Evil Uno, so let's just switch it to John Silver.
Yeah. Why? Where did that even fucking come from?
It's like
social media.
Yeah, it's like stop caring about.
Like literally, outside of Britt Baker and Chris Statlander last night, it looked like a regular Rampage card.
Yeah.
Like, where are these matches coming from? Oh, social media. Like the Hardys and the Righteous Brothers?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
Well, there was that time they did something.
Apparently, they feuded in Ring of Honor. Okay.
I didn't know that because I didn't know the heart. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
The night before, they should have recapped. The Righteous stood over the Hardys. That was it.
And that's the thing. And that's what TK plays off of is whatever he sees on social media and feuds that happened before AEW that no one remembers. Like he plays off those stories, and it's like, okay, cool. These guys feuded in Ring of Honor and in Japan. Who remembers that?
Because he's not a good booker. I'll be honest with you. He's a better matchmaker than he is a booker.
I'm going to give you this. I feel like this is his worst year.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Easily.
It
Like,
is.
if you give me 2019 and pandemic AEW, Tony Khan was on a different level.
Right.
That booking that he did was fantastic. I feel like that was the best AEW has been. But this year, outside of the whole hype of Wembley Stadium, his booking has been atrocious. Like, I'm sorry.
Like I said, I also think people just like to hate watch AEW too.
That's the thing. I enjoy AEW, and it's not me shitting on AEW because I have been told in the past that I'm just a WWE elitist, whatever. No, I enjoy AEW and what have they like. I applaud them for Wembley. I love what they've done.
I'm not necessarily saying you. I'm talking about like people that run.
Oh no, I know that.
People
And
that run Western websites that you can't even access them because you'll fucking have your computer crash.
Exactly.
Insider. That has people that work for him that constantly shit on Tony Khan. And
do I think
like you want to say it on one side that Meltzer and Alvarez all love Tony Khan so damn much. Well, on the flip side, you have people fucking actively
First
bash
off-
him on their websites. Like
First off,
serious.
for the listeners of this podcast, they all know my true hatred for Dave Meltzer. I fuck Dave Meltzer. I fucking hate him with a passion. Okay? His
like
match
that.
ratings are garbage. Himself as a journalist is garbage.
I
Okay?
fuck Brian Anderson.
Alvarez is a fucking goof in himself. For him to give Austin Theory advice, he's a fucking goof in himself.
From a voice like
Yeah, I
that.
saw that.
But with AEW, with Tony Khan, do I think it's literally a fat kid running a fat kid in a candy store trying to do everything at once? Yes, I do think it's Tony Khan. It's literally a grown child running a wrestling company because he has the means, he has the money for it. I get it.
All they do is put Molly Holly over.
No, and that's the thing with Molly Holly and Britt Baker. That's a different story. With Britt Baker, I'm not shitting on her.
Set us off going off on a tangent.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be like this the whole fucking episode. With Tony, but I want to say this about AEW with Tony Khan. He's showing that he's not as good as everybody thinks he is.
He needs help.
Like, he needs a lot of help. He needs a creative team.
He's booking 4 shows on his own.
Thank you. And
Okay,
like,
But at the end of the day, I'd rather take his booking than a senile 78-year-old fucking idiot billionaire named Vince McMahon who supports Donald Trump and supports Republicans.
but that's the thing. In the last year,
I'll
whatever-
always support that over
no.
actual shit.
Oh, that's the thing. Vince is giving a shit. Don't get me wrong. But in the last year or so, you could say Vince helped. I get it. Who gives a fuck? In the last year or so, it's been Triple H versus Tony Khan. It has been. It's been Triple H versus Tony Khan, and it's showing that, granted, Triple H has watered down stories with the Bloodline and Judgment Day, and all. He's been using the same people, but he's trying to make sense out of it. Tony Khan, he sees people on social media and he goes, oh my God, a fucking dream match. I have to book it. Like, for example, Omega and Vikingo earlier in the year, match of the year candidate. That came out of fucking nowhere because of a match that was supposed to happen in the pandemic that never did. Who's going to remember that? Nobody. Tony Khan. But granted, back to the Molly Holly Britt Baker thing. I'm not shitting on Britt Baker for what she's done. I think she's a pioneer in her own right in the AEW women's division. She's, in my opinion, in the 4 pillars in the AEW. Like,
I think it's more important to AEW than Sammy Guevara or Jungle Boy.
Oh, yeah.
honestly, up there with.
To be fair, I'll take the hit on this one. I actually shit on Britt Baker there.
He's worse than I am.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't necessarily like her, but yeah, she's front and center of everything that AEW does.
But here's my issue.
She was. I think she's in the front and center on the Collision
Poster now.
poster now.
Is
She
she?
was back for Dynamite. She was back for Rampage.
Yeah.
just about every pay-per-view poster she's on.
She's like the only woman representation on the channel.
What I don't get is why.
I feel Britt Baker's a bigger name than actually I've gotten substance for.
Yeah, like if you want to sit here and call it, Britt Baker is the Charlotte Flair of AEW. It's the name. It's the name. It's the representation. She's a woman you can count on in terms of marketing for AEW. Like,
I don't think she's reached that talent though.
no.
Or Charlotte can back it up
in
in the
terms of
ring
level.
for sure.
She-
The level, yeah.
For the
Britt
level-
Baker can go in the ring if given the right opponent. Thunder Rosa, Chris Statlander. She can go if given the right opponent to help her. Granted, do I think Britt Baker can improve in the ring? Yes, 100%. I honestly think if this was a conversation that brought up 5 years from now, I think Britt Baker would overtake Molly Holly. However, Molly Holly was a
And
champion.
that's nothing. We're still young. So
Thank you. Britt Baker's, what, 30? About that?
Yeah,
Not even?
Yeah, about 30, 31.
Yeah.
I knew who we were saying about earlier, but like they saw time. Yeah, like
Yeah, 32 nowadays doesn't necessarily mean 32 like
Back then.
She actually is 32.
Yeah. Whereas back then, if Molly Holly was 32, she would be considered out of her prime.
right.
Yeah.
She'll be going by 35 at the least.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
When you have fucking guys in their 50s still going in their prime.
It's a different look at ageism now.
Exactly.
than then, yeah.
So
Or if you want a woman comparison, we got Oscar and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Shannon's in her 40s. Oscar's about to be 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlotte and Becky are what 38.
Yeah, Natalia's in her 40s.
yeah,
So yeah.
Mako Satomura almost 50.
Yeah.
Like,
No, actually, Mita Samora's only 43.
is she really?
Yes.
Oh,
She
wow.
started when she was 16.
So Shayna's older than Mako?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did not know that.
But that's wrong. And for me, it's like Molly did what she did and let it help create the division, and she's even helped out now backstage as a producer for the woman.
Exactly.
And so the woman on the current roster, you shouldn't stop worrying, no matter how good you are. And they
Yeah.
got a great person to work with for matches.
It's like, I don't. This was a good matchup. I'm not gonna give shit on it. Yes, we joke around with Britt Baker and shit on what she's done, but looking back at it, she's a big name. This was a good, solid matchup.
I do think her talent level hasn't matched up to her star power yet, and that's where I'm.
That's the right wording for it. There you go.
That's what's holding me back with her, because Britt, I should value much higher than I do.
But at the same time, it's like if she was better in ring, this would have been a whole different conversation.
I think this will be Britt. Yeah, Britt is a bigger star, totally. That I would say, but everything else.
Just for the slight advantage of the fact of in-ring aspect, Molly will advance. Granted, if we're talking name value, Britt Baker's a bigger name value, but in-ring aspect and what they've done for the business, Molly Holly. So we'll do that. The next one, Jason. She was out first round in the last bracket. Bianca Belair against cheerleader Melissa. Is this going to happen again?
Well, if Dave Presnick put out his DVDs on time.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Because cheerleader Melissa is a huge name in the indies.
Yeah, she's one of the four pillars of Shimmer. The
Yep.
Shimmer is another big reason why you have the women's revolution that you have today.
Shimmer.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, again, it would be more recognized if their DVDs came out on time. Can't do nothing about that. But yeah, her along with Allison Danger and Sarah Del Rey, and you can kind of mix and match the fourth one. You can say Mischief, you can say Daisy Hayes, you can say Kong. They're the four pillars of that company. Melissa probably being the main pillar of that company.
Yeah.
Was there from the beginning and has always been there. Unfortunately, never got her chance in WWE.
No.
She did have decent runs. A couple times she was in Impact as Raisha Shahid and Alyssa Flash.
Yes.
And then even did some stuff a little later on in Lucha Underground as Mariposa, the sister of Marty the Moth. But
Fair.
it just, if we're going to, the star power thing, it's going to be Bianca Belair. In the ring, they're about even. They're
Okay.
about even as workers. I think Bianca shows more character than Melissa did, because Melissa, with her matches, it was very much, we're just having a match. Not really going to showcase too much character. She did a little bit towards the end of, in more recent years.
Right.
When she made the switch from babyface to heel in Shimmer, she
Mhm.
did more character stuff then, but it was really just straight up matches with her. The most character stuff she did was playing completely different roles, which was Raisha and Mariposa.
Right.
Be completely different than the cheerleader Melissa character. But overall, I'm going to go with Bianca. Bianca actually does advance the first round this time.
Are we all in agreement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bianca finally makes it out of the first round, but flowers go to cheerleader Melissa for damn fucking sure.
I wish she got a better run as Alyssa Flash in Impact.
Yes, yeah, the matches that she had with Hamada
But yeah,
were very good during that 2009 time. Yeah.
Fair. So the next one, Pat,
Oh Jesus, here we go.
Wendy Richter,
girls just want to have fun.
Fabulous Moolah.
They go together. The Spider Lady. The original screw job.
Yes, screw job.
Uh,
Quite frankly, I think the worst screw job, to be honest.
Yes.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm gonna go with Wendy Richter here. She was rubbing elbows with Cyndi Lauper and Hulk Hogan for WrestleMania 1.
Yeah.
Honestly, that means more. That means more for her time period than Moolah being. I don't necessarily say a punchline.
Moolah being Moolah.
Yeah, Moolah and
Moolah.
and May being that punchline later on that they would be, and maybe
Yeah.
that's a little harsh of the term, but
it's harsh to me.
I think Wendy overall in the history of women's wrestling, Wendy means more.
Okay.
Just because of that one check in her bracket compared to Moolah.
Okay. Joe?
Yeah, it's Wendy for me. Just with the whole Cyndi Lauper aspect of it, like you didn't, other than like Madonna and Janet Jackson, that weren't really like bigger stars in the '80s music scene for females. WWE got her. Wendy Richter got that rope from Cyndi Lauper and the Hulk Hogan and Piper. And there is an iconic shot of her and Cyndi run down the hallway of MSG at WrestleMania 1, and then celebrating the ring. And I've also been thinking Cyndi Lauper should have been in the Hall of Fame by now from the celebrity wing.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, so but yeah, one director.
Maybe next year. Okay.
And
Jason, were you in agreement?
Yeah, I was going to go Wendy Richter also. Like, people don't realize how big she was during that rock and wrestling time. She was right up. She was, if Hogan was 1 and Piper was 2,
Wendy Richter was up there.
maybe 3 or 4. Like I don't think it can be understood. And like I said, it's the worst of the two screw jobs, because while in a similar way to Brett, she kind of did also in a way kind of allowed for them to do that screw job, because she was trying to ask for money in the same realm as Hogan and Piper, and it's just like,
No.
it wasn't going to happen. Like,
Vince wasn't going to fort that up. No.
No, not at all. Like he and it's just like you had already seen Sergeant Slaughter go because he had the G.I. Joe commercials. Like, you really think you're more important than Slaughter? It's like, no, you're not.
And it was back then when a time where, it was big on the fact. Yeah, it was big on the fact back then at the time where women weren't allowed to make as much as men.
No.
They just weren't, straight up. They just weren't.
And knowing Vince, he was definitely one of those people that believe that. Like, okay, you're good, but fuck off. You're not making Hogan money. Like, it's an example. We'll get to her a little later, but it's an example of China later on down the road. Oh, okay, China, you want the money, but you're not as good as Rock and Austin. No, fuck off.
Yeah.
Where nowadays it's different. Becky and Charlotte, they're making $5 million. They're making Brock
Yeah.
money. Like, okay, Britt Baker, she's making. I don't want to say CM Punk money because he's not even there. She's making like fucking Kenny Omega money. Like she's up there. Like
Yeah.
it's different nowadays. Like if it was nowadays and Wendy Richter was around now, she would have that money. She would have that star power. But I'm in agreement.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Wendy Richter also. Yes.
Also, fuck Moolah.
Yeah.
Wendy Richter will advance. The next one will go to Joe. Jamie Hayter,
Okay.
Bailey.
What was that?
Bailey.
Oh, Bill, my fault. Yeah.
Was I breaking up?
Yeah, no, it called for it. Yeah.
Oh, my fucking internet. Not again.
Yeah, I'm done with Bailey.
Okay.
It's just I mean, I know both of them are current. I know Jamie's injured, but Jamie was just starting to hit her stride. Injury happens. Really,
Okay.
really sucks untimely for her, but I don't think Bailey's done. And going back to the Molly Holly comparison, she's the Molly Holly of this era. You can put her in any spot, and she's going to do a good job with it. So,
Okay.
Bailey.
Jason?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bailey as well.
Bailey. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're all in agreement, Bailey.
Yep, Bailey.
Although this could be like a future matchup. Like this could be a good matchup. If ever given the chance, I would say.
Yeah.
5 years down the road, maybe it's a different conversation.
And like I still think if Jamie
Well, we called it.
We called it. Take that screenshot, Pat.
All right, I got that screen cap too.
God,
Here we go again. Here we go again.
I gotta say the 2 screen caps I got from last time.
Yeah, thanks. I'll make sure they're the fucking what's it called on YouTube?
Just the main photo. Yeah.
The thumbnail.
Yeah, the thumbnail. Thank you. Bailey will advance. The next one, Jason. Am I fucking up again?
No, you're good.
No, you're fine.
Just like
Oh,
your
because it's showing on StreamYard like the fucking connection. All right, Jason, we can hear me, right? All right,
Yes.
Mayu Iwatani.
Mayu 20 versus.
Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
I'll pick a woman from the list.
I'll pick a one.
I haven't done yet.
We'll do our own bracket.
Don't go to Texas and get Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Oh my goodness, that's great.
This is where it comes in handy. We have the bracket too.
Yeah, I don't even have the bracket on my end though.
No.
Yeah.
I quit.
Oh,
I fucking quit.
Mayu Iwatani versus
Asuka.
we have Mayu.
It's against Asuka.
Okay, Asuka. Easy.
Unanimous.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oscar.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. I quit with StreamYard. God damn it. Not even StreamYard. It's fucking Spectrum pieces of shit. Okay, so Asuka advances. Am I good now? Everybody can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Get your screen grabs, get whatever. Next one. Pat. Am I good?
Yes.
I'm waiting. I'm just like I'm literally pausing at every moment.
Oh wow, that was perfect. Wow, that was perfect. I'm gonna every.
Take 22, like collision last night with Chief Lee. Take.
Oh.
Here he comes.
Take 3.
Fucking bullshit. Just gonna go like this from now on, because fuck it. Bullshit.
It's like Keith Lee last time Collision. Take 22.
Take 22. Also, Ricky Starks, too. Just
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was.
I'm just waiting. I'm just going to say the matchup before I get cut off. Naomi versus Shayna Baszler. Somebody go.
I'm going to go with Naomi / Trinity.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow, unanimous. Okay. The next one, Joe, Piper Niven, Natalia.
That's how Piper never had go over on in the UKC, but she kind of feels like they want their start stop with her on the main roster. Hopefully this is a start, not stop. Natalia's longevity, said Natalia.
Jason?
Natalia.
Natalia all around?
Yeah, Natalia all around. I mean, there's a reason why Natalia did go far. You need
That is true.
You need somebody with more substance to take her out.
Yeah.
So, and sorry, that just isn't Piper yet.
Yeah.
True. Okay. Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Hikaru Shida versus Jacqueline.
Hikaru Shida. Jacqueline, yes, did a lot early on, but I think more so it's as her time as a manager, more as a women's wrestler, even though she had multiple runs with the women's title. I think more so her bread and butter as a manager, so I'm going to go with Shida.
Fair. Joe?
Yeah, I was going with she as well. The workhorse of the AEW Women's Division.
Yeah, pretty much. However, do we see her leaving AEW? After what happened, do we see her leaving or do we see her staying?
Depends on her. I've seen people leave for less.
That's true. That's true.
Here,
All right.
I'll put like this. Cody being the first Mason Dave ever to jump ship back to WWE. I won't put past anybody to leave the company at this point. Like,
Except for Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
I mean, yeah, besides that. But at this point, nothing surprises me like that anymore.
That is true.
Literally, Jay just got a huge comeback. And the same week,
She's gone.
They're ready to debut on WWE.
I feel like maybe she came back just to give Chris a proper match.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, honestly, too.
Yeah.
The way they presented Jade, it was like, oh shit, this big star's coming back.
Yeah, but
she's going down there later.
No, I think it was just for her to give Chris Statlander that proper match that she
It
deserved.
was that, and I'm not a Jade fan, but that was her best match that she's ever had.
Easily her best. Chris Statlander has been like.
She's been on fire.
She's slowly creeping into becoming MVP because, she's given Britt Baker arguably her best match. She's given Jade Cargill her best match.
I remember this was not the first time they had a good match. They had a match a couple years ago on that All Out show that was a very good match when Britt was
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like Chris Statlander she's a good worker.
As long as she remains healthy, that's the biggest thing with Statlander.
Yeah.
It's the injuries.
That is true. All right,
it's
so
really the only thing that's working against Statlander.
Let's just hope she stays healthy. Yes.
Yeah.
So Hikaru Shida will advance. The next one, Pat, Kairi Sane, Mercedes Martinez. It is September and Kairi's coming back.
But now, does she want to come back, given the fact that Nia Jax?
I'm gonna tell you right now, Kairi's coming back Friday.
Out with the Asuka Io match.
Yep.
So I shout.
This is.
I was thinking more like Survivor Series time, but
Well, no, because she said her contract's up in September, right? She's done in September.
Yeah, I think she's done. Yeah, I think that's her last committed date to Stardom.
Yeah, it was September 22nd.
Yeah.
Which is this Friday.
Yeah.
I honestly think, and I was talking about it with my wife the other day because we were talking about Kairi Sane. I honestly think Asuka and Io is not going to have a definitive winner.
I
Bailey's going to interfere. It's going to be a fuck finish of some sort with Bailey or Charlotte, one of them interfering.
Mhm.
I'm hoping Bailey, because if I see Charlotte, we all know it's going to be a triple threat going down the line.
Yeah.
And Charlotte can't be in a feud without a title. But if Bailey interferes, I don't think it's Shotzi coming out to help insert Kairi Sane. That's just me. Fantasy booking, I don't know, but I firmly
thing.
believe.
I like the idea of Kyrie going to Bailey because Bailey's the one who took Kyrie out of the movie.
See,
Backstage
long-term storytelling, and you bring back the Kabuki Warriors. I fucking hated that name. I really hated that name. You bring back Kyrie to team with Asuka.
No, but you know what? It's actually kind of a Kevin Nash scenario when he came back in the midst of Triple H and Michaels. Because remember, team with both of them.
Exactly.
Team with Io and team with Asuka.
Yeah, and Kyrie's going to come back and help Asuka to go after, like Joe said, go after Bailey because Bailey was the one that took her out.
Or she just gets involved and she's trying to pull Io away from Bailey.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I could see that.
I think Kyrie's connected. I think
Kyrie's going to be connected.
Yeah, she'll be regardless. She will be connected. Yes.
Regardless, it's going to end up booking Kyrie, Io, Asuka at some point at Mania. It's going to connect.
Let me put it this way: right now, the SmackDown Women's Division is worlds better than the Raw Women's Division right now.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
by miles. But I firmly believe we're going to get some form of Kyrie, Io, and Asuka at Mania.
I will say this: I have noticed the last few weeks that you were worried about Charlotte interfering. It seems to me that they're scaling back on Charlotte.
They are.
Yeah.
It definitely seems like they're scaling back. She seems to be getting. She seemed like she might be going into the SmackDown's Natalia role. You know what I'm saying?
No. I feel like they're saving her. They're waiting for her. They're waiting for Bianca to come back.
I think she's going to be more of an edge role over the past
Yeah.
8 months or so.
Yeah.
Where she might not show up as often, but
She's still going to work.
she's going to go work there.
I feel like it's sad to say, like, I think Charlotte's become a part-timer now.
Yeah.
Because
Where
her and Shotzi beat Damage Control last week, and she rolled right out of the ring. Got out of the camera.
she was out. Like,
Celebrating that she had a good move on her face. I'm not saying she was pissed, but she rolled right out, and her and Shotzi was celebrating up the ramp. So Asuka and Io kind of a moment. More
Yeah.
than Charlotte would have been in that moment with them.
yeah, she would have been
Yeah.
face-to-face with both of them.
Yeah.
But Asuka and Io and Charlotte was zero on both of them.
Yeah.
I personally think they're saving Charlotte for Bianca when she comes back.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the rumblings of Bianca and Charlotte at Mania 40, I feel like that's what they're going to do. I feel like it's going to happen because rumor has it if time passes right, I feel like Bianca comes back at Survivor Series, whatever. I feel like at the Rumble is when you plant the seeds for Charlotte Bianca.
Yeah.
You have them in the Rumble. One of them eliminates each other, preferably Bianca eliminating Charlotte.
Yeah.
And there's your Mania match. Not even for a title.
No,
If it's
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Because I honestly do not take the title off Io until Mania.
Same here.
Do not. Like, whether if she drops it to Asuka, to Kyrie, or even a Bailey. Just
I see. This is where I say she does drop it before Mania because I think at some point Bailey screws her and wins the belt for herself and is the champion going into WrestleMania. And Io gets.
I could see that, but the problem is if you have Bailey do that, where do you throw Asuka? Where do you throw Kairi Sane?
I think Asuka's well. Kyrie might be in there, but Asuka I feel like is near the end.
I mean, she said it herself. It's her time's running out.
Yeah.
The same.
Plus, if you follow her YouTube channel, she's working on other projects back home.
Yeah.
So she tries.
She's done that forever. Like,
Well, not even that. She's focusing on opening up an arcade. I think.
Yeah.
in- back home.
People don't realize how big she is in that gaming world.
Exactly.
She did
Like-
that stuff before she went to WWE.
It's safe to say Asuka has nothing left to give.
No, she
Like
doesn't.
she's done enough. She's already
done
solidified herself as one of the greatest of all time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bar none.
Mhm.
Even the work she did before WWE.
Yes, as Kana, yeah, 100%.
Well, going
She
to
doesn't
Jason's
need to-
point, if it's Billy Io Mania, and Asuka is slowing down, do Asuka Kyrie. Have Kyrie get a nice.
Yes.
Give Kyrie that have Asuka put over Kyrie.
Yeah.
Pretty way as like a passing the torch type thing.
And
Like
Yeah,
here
exactly.
you go.
Yeah.
I can see it. Like here you go. It's your turn now. I'm gonna go retire and be in the sunset. Like go off in the sunset and just
I love the Io Asuka Kyrie idea. Believe me, being there live.
Yes.
For
yes.
my tickets. So being there live, I'm not going to complain.
No.
But I also feel like Bailey should get a little something of the outlet for
You're right.
Bailey holds the divisions together.
Because if it wasn't for Bailey, Io wouldn't be where she's at now.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like that.
And granted, Damage Control has been booked like terrible, but it has helped in terms of Bailey getting Io over. Even
I
at
love
Dakota
that.
Kai.
On SmackDown, they've been booked a lot better than they have when they were on Raw.
And that's the thing. There have been teases and seeds planted for Bailey to turn on Io.
Yeah.
Or the other way around, however you want to put it. Like,
Even this week, Dakota kind of blamed Bailey.
no.
For worried about Shotzi. She's been losing because she's been worried about Shotzi.
Exactly. Which I'm all for the storyline, but I hope it ends soon. Because
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
what killed that momentum was like taking the 2-3 weeks off of that story
Yeah.
instead of being consistent with it. Like I feel like, granted, I love Shotzi's look. I love what they're doing with the character now. It's time to move on.
Well, I will say this to Bailey. She helps Shotzi a lot.
Oh yes,
Shotzi's been back to that level in the ring again.
yes,
Like,
and
it's not like she wasn't
Shotzi was in the level of Dana Brooke, like in the weeds, like did not know where the fuck she was going until Bailey helped, and Shotzi is now. I want to say she does have a prominent role in SmackDown. Like
she's the fourth top. I guess in the ranking system, she would be the fourth top babyface right now because you got Asuka, Charlotte, and one Bianca when she comes back.
exactly.
I feel like Bianca's going to switch.
I do think that.
You think Bianca's going heel?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I don't.
Because I think if you do that Mania match with Charlotte, it's Bianca's the heel and Charlotte is the babyface.
That's the thing. I'm now that I'm looking at it, I honestly don't think you should turn Bianca heel. Because one thing comes in the factor. The fans. Especially the kids. The kids look up to Bianca. They adore Bianca. They see her as the female John Cena of the WWE. I don't think you should turn her heel. Granted, she's going to get booed. She's going to get, the mixed reactions, but I do not think you turn her heel. If you're going to have her in that Charlotte feud, it's better to have Charlotte heel than Bianca heel because Charlotte works better as a heel than she does a babyface. We've all seen it, hands down. Charlotte is horrible as a babyface. That's just my personal opinion. However, if you do not put Bianca and Charlotte at Mania, and if you put Bianca towards Io chasing, that's where you get me. Because I feel like if Bianca's going to be back in that women's title mix, Bianca should be a heel.
Yeah. See,
Where
Bianca-
Io can be that big baby face. Because she's already over with the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Io can be that big baby face thanks to Bailey. So that's SmackDown in terms with the women division, they're in good hands. They're fine. The Raw women's division is in the shitter, but SmackDown women's division, they're in good hands. They're fine going forward.
Yeah.
But back to this, I do think Kyrie is going to come back as soon as Friday. That's just my prediction. It may not happen, but I think it could. But you guys are talking about Kyrie and Mercedes, so go ahead.
I'm going to go with Kyrie here. Mercedes Martinez may have had a longer career, but Kyrie always seems to find herself at the top of whatever division she's in, even though women's tag team division on the main roster. And honestly, I think this is going to be take 2 of that for the singles roster on WWE coming forward, especially with Triple H involved.
Okay,
I'm gonna
fair.
Kyrie.
Kyrie, Jason?
It's closer than you would think it would be because of what Mercedes has been able to do, and she's been able to do it more recently on a bigger stage with AEW Ring of Honor. And she had her off and on stuff with NXT,
Right.
but it's mostly an Indies thing with Shimmer and with even with WSU, Women's Superstars Uncensored, that she was a champion for I think 2+ years. Had wall-ass matches and whatnot. I'm going to go to Kyrie. Kyrie's done more on a bigger stage, and even went back. Even after leaving WWE, went back to Stardom, revitalized Stardom, and then started the New Japan Women's Division. Got that going. So I would go with Kyrie here.
Okay, fair enough. Joe, you're in agreement, Kyrie?
Yeah.
All right. The next one, Joe.
Yeah,
One of these two is going out first round. I'm sorry.
Ronda and Tessa deserve their flowers.
Here we go again. Alundra Blaze versus China.
Who was the first one?
Alundra Blaze against China.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry, not sorry, I guess.
No, it's definitely not sorry.
Jason hates me at this point. Like, he's like, fuck you and your brackets. I quit.
In terms of two things, we're told greatest woman wrestler of all time overall. So China's not necessarily that. She's the part with the biggest, one of the biggest stars on this list, definitely. But she's not known for being in the women's division while doing that.
Okay.
You can say the women's division is the lowest point of China's career. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So in terms of draw, China's the bigger draw.
Yeah, China's bigger draw.
But
now,
in terms of... Yeah.
Medusa's more all around for the women's division and the women's wrestle aspect.
Right.
And this isn't a WWE only list. If this was the previous account, I would have said China. I'm going with Alundra just for the fact of, or Medusa, whatever you want to call her, Japan, America. Way before her time in WWE as a talent.
Yeah.
I'm going with her because she was focused in the women's division. Where China, always a big star from 97 to 01. I can't take away what she did in those 4 years. But what she did in those 4 years was win what she's known for, the first woman to Rumble. The Muscle DX.
The first women Intercontinental Champion.
First woman Intercontinental Champion. Everything to do with the... Pretty much how to position Rhea now.
There wouldn't be a DX without China. Yeah.
But Rhea's also dominating the women's division at the same time while interacting with the men. That's the difference. China is out of the division. And rightfully so, because she was only other than, like, no offense, like Irie, Jacqueline, Luna, and Sable at the time, China won't look right against them. And when they got there, when she got there in 01, late 2000s, she didn't fit.
Yeah.
It felt like a downset, so I'm going with Medusa for overall.
Okay. Pat?
I was actually leaning towards China, but Joe actually convinced me. She wasn't... Her main focus wasn't necessarily the women's division. Where Medusa, it was.
Okay.
And Medusa, even in WCW, at least was still part of that women's division with whatever you can actually call that thing.
Akira Hokai and Bull Nakano for Mankind.
Yeah. For me, it's Medusa, mainly by just the parameters of what the bracket is.
And this is WWE only.
Okay, so Jason, are you unanimous with this?
Yeah, unanimous.
Alundra Blaze. The next one will go to Jason. Speaking of Bull Nakano.
Okay.
Nikki Bella.
Bull Nakano.
I fully don't hate Nikki Bella. I really don't.
So unanimous, Bull Nakano advances.
I didn't vote for Nikki.
I mean, I may have shit on Britt Baker on this, but
Nikki Bella, yeah.
Nikki Bella, so that leaves me to pick Bull Nakano.
I know one. Eat a bullseye pick. I made shit on Britt Baker. I'm sorry to Britt Baker. You are definitely not Nikki Bella. So, Bull Nakano.
You know what? I wish you died in the womb.
Of course,
John.
I mean, outside of Brit, like,
The best Nikki Bella was Maurice impersonating Nikki Bella.
Thank you. Maurice was a better Bella twin than Bellas.
I mean, at least Britt Baker didn't sleep her way to the top, so fair. Because Britt Baker was still carrying the company while Adam Cole was hurt, so yeah.
Adam Cole was at NXT.
Yeah, exactly. I'm cool as an NXT.
I wasn't making Nikki.
I
was gonna say, yeah.
Can't use that excuse.
Where Nikki Bella, she was like, okay, I'm good now, but let me sleep with the biggest star of the company. Okay, here you go. So Bull Nakano advances easily. Pat.
That was horrible.
Pat. Mia Yim or Michin
Or Jade.
or Jade against Serena Deeb. Arguably one of the best women's technicians today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. It's a good one. This is a good one.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Because Mia Yim actually had a career resurgence in Impact. So
Yeah, 100% she did.
I think I have to go with Mia Yim. And mainly
ooh.
their runs are, I would say they're almost comparable.
Okay.
Except for the fact that Mia, Jade, Michin, whatever you want to refer of her, she had that run as Jade in TNA, and she was on top of that, and she was successful in that. Serena
True.
Deeb, whatever reason, hasn't necessarily gotten that.
Okay. Fair. So one for Mia Yim. Joe?
For me, with Serena is in 2021 into 2022. I don't know what happened. In 2020, but she was there in 2020. She was AEW's best women's worker, along with Shia. Her and
Yeah.
Shia has some matches together in her feud. Then all of a sudden, last year, I know she's backstage helping. That's a great role for her. But the girls can also help. The girls have some good matches on TV though, too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know why she's not in the ring anymore. I don't know if she retired. Was it injury?
I don't know. I feel like she's probably picking and choosing her matches. Like she's just more in that helping role now. Like
Yeah.
she wants to help the women of AEW thrive to be better.
Which I'm fine with. And I'm glad she did get the opportunity to at least do it somewhat on big stage.
Exactly.
Was somebody that I thought had talent. I just want to see more of her. So I guess that's just me being selfish. But yeah, in terms of the compliment, and she got a compliment word for when she came back from the Mae Young place in 2018, I believe it was the second Mae Young. I know they signed her as a trader. I was hoping they were going to sign her on as a talent because I was her second run at NXT. I know she was going to win the women's title, but I thought it would have been a second chase for her for WWE.
Okay.
But overall, just because both women are underrated in WWE, but I at least see me on my screen in WWE, and she had that knockouts title run and the knockouts run in general. That puts her over the top for me. So I want to say Mia, who I do want to see in the ring more too. That in WWE,
yes.
Not AJ's valet.
Because she's turning into that manager role, which isn't good.
No.
Right.
I mean, it's helping her in a sense of she's getting over with the club and AJ Styles being that big name.
Right.
But she can go in the ring. We need to have her break off and be a part of that whole scramble for the women's title. Like, even if it's just a throwaway feud, give me a Mia Yim and an Io some point. Or exactly, like even if it's a throwaway feud or a one-off at a pay-per-view, give me a Mia Yim with Okay, so 2 for Mia Yim. Jason?
This is definitely another neck and neck one. I'm going to get into a little inform and educator role in regards to Serena Deeb. She's had off and on issues.
Yeah.
I think people mostly know the reason why she got let go from WWE in her first run was she was in a storyline being straight edge, and she got caught. Well, not being straight edge.
Yep. She broke kayfabe.
Yeah.
But kayfabe was dead by 2010. That's what she got early.
But still, she was in a story where she wasn't drinking or smoking, and then she got caught. Oh, well.
Then when she had been part of the Indies and whatnot, got signed, came back to the Indies, did some good stuff. Did some good stuff in Shimmer, and then she had to pretty much retire because she had a really bad concussion.
Yeah,
she had suffered a really bad concussion during one of the Shimmer volumes, and sans maybe a match or two. She was retired as a wrestler for several years.
Exactly.
Then she made she does the Mae Young, makes a comeback, does the coach thing, gets let go. They bring her into the NBA, win their title. Then AEW brings her in to do the match of Rosa, and that's what that's what gets her hired by AEW. And back and forth doing that stuff. And she hasn't been on TV as of late.
Nope.
What I think people don't really realize is that she is currently involved with we went back into the whole cancel culture thing a few.
Oh wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Marty, right?
Well, yes, with Marty. Yes.
Fuck.
Yes, she. I think she's actually straight up married. To Marty Scurll.
Fuck. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that it's like when that becomes public knowledge, and again, when you're unfortunately maybe when you're a reactionary company, that's the stuff that can tend maybe to unfortunately happen.
Marty Scurll hasn't been seen since, right?
He's done like random indie things, and like even when they've couple of like conventions to try to book him or whatever. Cancel culture's like sprung into action and gotten him debooked from these.
So he's literally just blacklisted at this point.
Yeah, he's just blacklisted. And again,
I think I heard he has like a podcast. That's about it.
Yeah, he started to do his own little podcast.
Give it time, that'll be canceled.
He's been doing work in Puerto Rico and Mexico and stuff like that. But that's about it.
I mean, Puerto Rico and Mexico, they don't give a shit about cancel culture. So
no, they don't as they should.
But our cancel culture, I hate. Serena should be affected by that.
No, she shouldn't.
No,
she shouldn't.
No, I completely agree.
With an incredible as a talent as she is, no, she should not.
Yeah. She's done very well for herself. The run she's had in AEW, she's done very well for herself.
Yeah.
Whereas Mia Yim been back and forth. She had a good run on the independents. First time I ever saw her was Adam Cole's manager in CZW.
Yes.
When Adam Cole was junior champion, and Mia Yim, we got the egg roll chants and stuff like that, which is hysterical. And then went on to have these great series of matches with Greg Etzelin at the time.
Yeah.
Ben did the stuff on the women's indies. She was in ROH being Prince Nana's valet with the embassy.
Yeah.
Oh Nana. Oh Prince Nana. Yes.
I'm not going to pull an Eric Bischoff. I'm not doing
Oh my
that.
god.
I'm not doing it.
Well, that's so he can screen cap having Joe. Is that?
I expected.
Just make it a GIF.
But yeah, Mia. I mean, she had a decent run in NXT. At one point, challenging Shayna for the belt. Did good there. Obviously, we know about the stuff she did in Impact. Her and Rosemary going back and forth over the Knockouts title, and then then they tried to make her part of this Retribution thing, and that didn't work. And then let her go, and she was in Impact for a little bit, just as regular Mia Yim, and they bring her back. And let's call her Michin,
which apparently she came up with. So she came up with the name. That was her idea. So let her have it.
Sometimes I believe the people when they say it, and sometimes I believe they use that as a cop-out answer. So it's not always the company.
Just like how I thought they said fucking it was Vince's idea for Nikki ASH when really it was Nikki Cross's idea. So
yeah,
I'll believe that. And if Mia Yim says it's her idea to bring in Michin because of there's history behind it, I'll believe it.
Yeah, I think given the fact of the long layoff that Serena had due to injury, I'm going to go with Mia.
Okay.
But it is very close.
Okay, fair enough. So Mia Yim.
It's so close that they were thrown in groups involving Luke Gallows.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good brother right there.
Yeah. Because they sell SmackDown like he's in.
As long as it wasn't in a group with Seth Ferguson, we'll be okay.
Good brother. Oh boy. Well, as long as Mia Yim wasn't in a group with Phil, that's all we care about.
Yes. Yes.
Mia Yim advances. Jason. Mariko Yoshida against Diana Perazzo.
This is a slam dunk. It's Deanna. Probably in a short amount of time, she vaulted up into the top 5 knockouts in that company's history. Like whatever they did not see in her in WWE and NXT when she was there,
Which blew my mind.
Nothing. They did literally nothing with her whatsoever. What they, from jump when they put that belt on her over Jordan, like as soon as she came into the company, and mind you, she had her main run. She was. I'll go on record probably to say this. She probably carried that company during the pandemic. That pandemic year, she was the best wrestler in that company during that pandemic year.
Yes,
100%. And given the fact that like NXT at least had the Thunderdome and maybe a very small crowd. AEW first used the extras and then had a small crowd.
Yeah.
Impact had nobody. They were doing a whole year of shows with an empty building, and she was still putting on very good to great matches.
It's like they were literally just throwing on training shows, and Deanna carried the company.
Yeah, she literally did. And even the feud that she had with Mickey and the stuff that she's had recently with Trinity, the 2 matches that they've had, like 100%. I like Masato Yoshida. I think she's good over in Stardom and whatnot. But 100% to me is Deanna Purrazzo.
Okay. So all around Deanna?
Because I think the biggest thing also with her is that she was, in her previous runs in other places, she was just being a wrestler. She didn't have a character. When she came into Impact and did the whole virtuosa stuff,
she became a star.
She became a star, 100%.
I do think I don't think she's a for lifer. I don't think she's going to be a Jordan Grace and be a for lifer. Give it some time. I feel like she's going to go to an AEW or she's going to come back to the WWE
at the end of December.
They already Fightful announced that hers is up at the end of December.
Oh,
and
really?
It's like if I'm her, it's like what else can I do in Impact? I've already held that belt 3 times. Like
honestly, if I was Deanna, I would take the chance that Chelsea Green took.
Yeah.
Call Triple H.
Yeah.
And be like, look, you've seen the work I've put in. You've seen the shit that I can do. Have me come back at the Rumble. Right. Something. Or she could be bold and go to AEW and work with.
They used her the one time to get that ROH belt off of her when she had that belt.
Yeah, and that was, I guess. I feel like she could have her comeback story in WWE. She could have her redemption arc there.
I agree.
Like it's pretty much like Cody in a sense. Cody went off and made a huge name for himself. Deanna went out, got released, and she became a star overnight in Impact.
She did on a smaller platform than Cody did.
Exactly.
And that's not disrespect to Impact. It is what it is.
Like Cody did do Impact, but Impact was a bigger.
Yeah, he only did Impact initially for like a month or two, and that was
exactly. And then went to. Yeah.
Because at that point, he was legitimately not under anybody's contract. So while he was doing Ring of Honor, he could do Impact because he wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
He was pretty much. He pretty much had an open contract. And was literally working everywhere.
He was literally working everywhere.
Whereas Deanna, she was strictly Impact and carried the company for what it is. All right, Deanna Purrazzo advances. The next one, we'll give it to. I'm going to give it to you again, Jason.
Okay.
Madison Eagles, which I think a name you threw in.
Yes, I did.
Against Suri, or however you say her name.
Okay. Suri has definitely made waves over in Stardom.
Yes.
As of late, but I think it is 100% Madison Eagles.
Yep.
If anybody has not seen Madison Eagles, she's going to be another case. Unfortunately, it's going to be a what if, but not because of outside things. It's going to be a what if in terms of injuries.
Oh, okay.
She from I would say 2011 to about 2015, 2016, I think, was the best female wrestler in the world.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah. And I think if you watch the matches that she had, again, couldn't see him because, Dave Prazak and all.
True.
But there was other things that she was on that you could see stuff when she was doing stuff with Shine and companies like that.
Okay.
Doing some Chikara stuff too. She 6 foot tall from Australia. Like she was a focal point in helping train people like Billy Kay and
Right.
Peyton Royce that you would see later on. She really is the beginnings of the movement of the Australian girls that eventually came over to the States.
Okay.
But she would, the problem with her is that she had one really bad knee injury that kept her out for a year, and a couple years later had another one coupled in with a concussion. And by the time we got to 2017, 2018, she just called it a career just because of one, living in Australia, 2, having 3 kids, and 3 all the injuries. So and COVID also, I think, played a role in it with the country shutting down, not be able to get over here to work. She's a definite what if. Had the injuries not crept up and other things not occur, she would have probably been looked at by a WWE or an Impact or an AEW or something like that, because
That is true.
She was that good. Like I said, watch her matches. She has a match on Chikara in 2011 against Miami Toyota when she was younger and really just starting to come into her own.
I think I vaguely remember that.
There's a match up there, and yes, again, this is number one to cancel people, but whatever. She had a match with Quackenbush on a Chikara show later on.
Quackenbush.
Yeah. Good old Quack.
Oh, Mikey.
Good old Quackenbush. But and then there's matches that she had. Shimmer does have a streaming service that you can now watch almost all the volumes that they've ever put out.
Right.
So you can watch a lot of that Shimmer stuff back. The run that she had as champion against Melissa, and then after that, when she went and became a babyface in the matches she had with Nicole Matthews, and their whole story is some of the best stuff that Shimmer's ever done.
Okay.
So 100% to me, like it was no joke. I definitely think for a couple of years stretch, she was in there as definitely the best female wrestler in the world, and you can make an argument just overall. She was one of the best wrestlers in the world. She was that good.
Okay, so you're going with Madison Eagles.
Madison Eagles, 100%.
Joe?
I'll go Madison too.
And we're all in agreement, Madison?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get Madison. Madison, I've heard about.
Sayori,
I really haven't seen much
No.
of her.
You might not see much of, but she was in the news around last year at the time when she was number 1 on the PWI 500. Everybody freaked out that wasn't Bianca.
The female list, yeah.
Yeah.
Which they've now extended this year from 150 to 250 because.
Right, yeah. She was the number 1 on 150. Everybody freaked out because it wasn't Bianca. And I'm like, it's a fucking kayfabe list. Who the hell cares?
Wait, they changed it to 250 now for the women?
For the women, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. They haven't released it yet, right?
No, it comes out in November.
That's the November one. So
who's making the top of this list? I don't even know.
It's probably
Rhea.
I would say
Ripley.
Rhea. I think it's gonna be Maria or Julia.
Yeah. I honestly will be like surprised if Mercedes Moné makes the top 10. Legitimately will be surprised.
Yeah.
I hope it's Soraya, but that's just
Fuck you. fucking penne pasta neck over there. I don't want that. Shit. All right.
Ronda will probably make the list. Old Sandy Hook Ronda.
She'll crack the top 50.
Soraya and Ronda top 2.
Fuck you. Fuck.
My number 1 dream match I never.
Well, they did have the highest female ranking ever in the regular PW 500. Masha, it was 15.
Fair. All right.
They're counting the GCW World Title. That's
that is true. That is true. Okay. But anyway, the last matchup of the first round goes to Pat. Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss.
Becky.
That fucking face. He was like, really? Alexa. You can't give her shit, though. I mean, she's done what she's done.
She's had one of the most successful careers in WWE.
which you would have never thought of.
Becky's career may be the most successful in WWE.
That is true. Okay, so Becky agreement don't even matter.
It's Becky.
No,
All
yeah,
right.
it's a close shot.
Alexa Bliss would maybe have beaten a couple of other people if they were matched up, but
Fair. All right.
And I will say this: that Becky Kid's got talent. I play in that developmental room. I'm joking.
Oh man.
She's going.
So-
I see big things.
We are now in the second round, speed round, like we usually do, unless there's a roadblock. We're gonna get things started. Joe, second round. Here we go. Io Shirai, Sarah Del Rey. Already with the roadblock.
I had Io Real. And
Speed bump.
the woman who's basically the unsung hero of WWE's women's wrestling of the last decade.
in women's wrestling in general.
And women's wrestling in general of the last decade.
Here we go.
The last 2 decades, actually.
Yeah, because her wrestling career the first decade and the non-wrestling career, the coach career in the second decade.
Yeah. And they're both still going in their respective positions. Io is an active competitor and Sarah as a trainer.
It boggles my mind that they have never tried to have her come out one time for a match.
Yeah, I know.
It-
You know
it
what? I don't
honestly
know
does.
who's my base here, but I might go for what people will say that both will upset. Just for, I'm going to give it to Sarah, though.
Oh.
Just for everything kind of like a Molly Holly situation, everything she did. And everything she's done. Io is still going to go for it.
Okay.
Sarah set up the woman. Sarah set up the woman for the success they're having.
Okay.
Whether it's
Fair.
probably but Sarah put women's wrestling on the map in the Indies and as a trainer. So
Okay. So Sarah Del Rey, Pat.
I'll let this come down to Jason. I don't think there's a bad choice here, but I'm gonna go with Io.
Jason.
this is always what was
Yeah, I know.
so,
Well, I kind of mimic what Joe had to say. I'm gonna go with Sarah Del Rey also.
The unsung hero.
Yeah, just with that and then what she done, the very first Shimmer champion. Like I said, one of the main pillars of that company, get that going, which was the a lot of building blocks into what would eventually be with the women's division.
Yep.
Yeah, and what she's been able to do, train the future. Like I said, Io still has a bunch of time left. She's right now getting into that prime stage of her career. But unfortunately, we're not going to see any more Del Rey matches. But in terms of what she's been able to do to get everybody ready,
Sarah Del Rey.
Sarah Del Rey, yeah.
I mean, Io's still young. She hasn't even hit her prime yet. So
No.
she'll get there. Sarah Del Rey advances. The next one, Pat. Liv Morgan, Ruby Soho.
otherwise.
The Battle of the Ride Squad.
Another roadblock?
I'm probably gonna have to stick with Liv here. Ruby had a career before and after her WWE part, but I'm not sure
Fuck!
if she ever really reached the level that Liv has yet, or somehow.
So you're going Liv.
Yes.
Okay. I started freezing up. I got scared. Joe?
Somehow, Ruby has never reached a top spot in any company yet.
Somehow.
For some reason. And I don't hate Liv as much as I hate Soraya. In fact, I like Liv. So, I can't get Ruby to sit here, so I am going to go with Liv.
Liv? Okay, fair enough. Jason?
Yeah. I was
Liv.
gonna go with you. Yeah.
I don't understand why Ruby's not a top name. Damn it. Liv Morgan advances. Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these matchups have to be easy, like for fuck's sake. Lita versus Candice LeRae.
Lita. As much as I like Candice, it's Lita.
Joe.
I love Candice, but yes, Leah.
Yeah, Candice, what she did is important outside of WWE, but it's hard to beat Lita's popularity.
Lita. Okay. Oh boy. The next one, Joe.
Oh,
Mickey James, Charlotte Flair. Arguably a finals matchup here.
kind of like how my head's similar from the finals. Somehow. You know what? Okay. So earlier in the Trish Manami Toyota, we were saying arguably Trish does decorated women's wrestler on the North American side of things.
Right.
Here's the other. Here's two of the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even Asuka too, because Asuka's won everything 10 in WWE. So
That's true.
they're like the four, like Decker and Becky. They're probably the top 5 in terms of the decorate ones.
Yep.
With that being said, there's
Can't think there.
There's like a head heart situation here. Because in my head, I know like most people will say, oh, it's probably Charlotte, blah, blah, blah.
But in your heart, you're saying Mickey.
Right, in my head, I know Charlotte, 15-time or 14-time champ, right?
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends when they feel like count her NXT runs. Yeah, so we'll say between 14 to 16 times.
Ric Flair numbers.
WrestleMania main event, WrestleMania headliner, blah, 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 all that shit. But I'm not even counting Mickey's second round WWE, but I'm counting every Mickey did. This is all wrestling. Mickey is a knockout. Mickey in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I know the pop rates is Charlotte. And maybe it's my fandom speaking, because I have a big Charlotte fan.
Look, go with your gut, man. Go with you think.
But I really have a hard time limiting Mickey this early in this kind of competition. And
So you're going Mickey.
Yes, I completely understand she gets eliminated right now. Because she's
Okay.
still one of the best. But I'm going Mickey.
Mickey gets a vote. Jason.
It got thrown to me the last time, so I'm throwing it right back. I'm going to go with Charlotte Flair.
Damn. Pat. This is going to be an ongoing rivalry between Pat and Jason. Just to piss you off. You're going last. So, Pat, it's up to you.
They picked
At first, I was like, "Oh wait, I gotta figure this out." Oh wait, he's probably going to Jason second. And when Theo was like, "Oh crap!" The last time this happened.
The last time this happened, it was the deciding factor.
Yeah, this is a final worthies matchup.
Yeah, it is. Ugh. Sad to say, one of these two is going out second round.
our country.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Mickey.
All right. Mickey
Like,
advances.
like Joe said, she did in 2 companies. Charlotte did to 1, and well, Jason's argument for Charlotte was, well, Pat did it to me last time. So, so I'm gonna.
I did have an argument. I just was like, I'm not gonna bother with it. I need to save it.
Oh, okay. So Mickey will advance. Jason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to play about that one because it's on WWE.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all. If this is WWE only, probably Charlotte. But this is all around, and Mickey's proven.
For Charlotte, I would say with a bullet.
Oh yeah.
Just WWE.
But you got
This is all around though, and Mickey's proven to do better outside of WWE. So
Yeah.
we haven't seen Charlotte yet in another company, so we can't even say anything.
Right.
And which is a quote unquote dream match for Britt Baker, apparently. So
It's also
who
a
knows?
50. I've never said that before. I'm also open.
Well, Britt Baker wants to work Charlotte, so it could happen.
But
Whether Britt jumps ship or Charlotte jumps ship, we don't know. I don't think Charlotte jumps ship. I think Charlotte's a for lifer.
In their companies. I think you got 2 lifers. That's all.
So it's probably just a match that'll never happen.
You're a
It's
better chance to get Mickey and Charlotte, and for Mickey's dream match.
Mickey's dream match. All right, Jason, Victoria, Jordan Grace.
Okay.
Oof.
slight edge. I'm going to go for Victoria.
Okay. All right.
Slightly, just because she was successful in two companies.
Fair
Whereas
enough.
Jordan, like I said, had just been consistently Impact. Where she had the edge on the thing with Athena, Victoria gets her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe?
I'm going with
yeah, it's a 2-company thing for me to just Victoria.
Victoria, Pat?
It's almost the same argument as last time. Victoria has 2 companies under her belt to Jordan's 1.
Fair. So Victoria will advance. Pat, Mako Satomura, AJ Lee.
Now, the argument for AJ was her popularity may have not been long, but it was short.
But now this is popularity versus
Wasn't
longevity.
going against a 4-decade career.
Yeah.
The
So
first
this
time
is
around.
literally popularity versus longevity.
Yeah.
And Mako's had a decorated 4-decade career. So,
I got to go Mako.
okay. Joe?
Mako.
Mako
Yeah,
all
Mako.
around?
Yep.
That's because Jason wants AJ out of this fucking bracket.
I don't even know that for me. Yeah, you can't really compare 4 years. 4 years. No,
That's true.
Yeah,
4 years against 4 decades. That's
Yeah.
that's no.
that's how.
All right. Joe, Beth Phoenix, Awesome Kong.
Oh, shit.
Here's a dream match. Here was in 2008, 2009. This was a dream match of mine.
Yeah.
It's still a dream match, if ever. Yeah. Mm.
Are you glad I put Beth through instead of Sasha? Ah! So now you.
It would have been a totally different story.
Yeah, the speed round, and this is harder than the second round apparently. The first round,
run's going like running through mud.
yeah.
So many fucking speed bumps here.
I'm going with Kong
Okay.
just for both for the top of the divisions at the same time.
Okay.
But I know Kong had a career in Japan too, so I gotta count that too. But also, just go head to head, the knockouts were a prominent feature of TNA when Kong was on top.
Okay. Fair.
Whereas Beth carried a dead division along with Mickey Molina and Michelle while she was on top, and Natalia. But
Okay.
in the end, I figured we're going to Kong.
Kong. Okay. Pat.
Maybe this is a little bit to do with passing on to Jason, but I actually do have a reason for it. Beth carried a dead division basically with nobody.
Okay.
Kelly.
Nope.
It's the same argument Joe has, but Kong had a Gail Kim.
That's true.
Kong eventually was she ever in the knockouts with Nikki?
No.
Colin wasn't, no, but Beth did have Mickey initially.
Beth had
Beth
Mickey.
did it, yeah.
Beth had Molina.
Initially, before Mickey left to,
Right.
I guess,
Yeah.
focus on her.
Beth had Mickey for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
True.
Beth had Molina for like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But then Beth carried a division that died after.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end of her run. Yeah, it's the same argument with Trish.
Yeah. It's
Beth pretty much had Natalia as someone for a
Yeah.
credible workforce in her last 2 years.
Oksana.
What is Lama?
Alicia Fox.
Favorite Lithuanian.
Alicia Fox.
Thank you.
I blame Oksana for Lithuania being in the U.S.
Oh, come on. So you're going Beth here, Pat.
I'm gonna go Beth, yeah.
Oh,
Because she
Jason,
had way less to work with than Kong did.
the rivalry continues.
Right at the end of their
Fair.
major company careers.
Fair.
I'm gonna go with Kong.
Awesome
I'm
Kong.
gonna go Awesome Kong to advances.
Now, say if Sasha did advance, who would you pick?
Between what Awesome Kong and Sasha, I would go Awesome Kong also.
Would everybody agree with that?
Yeah, I'm a big Kong guy. Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, especially with Awesome Kong's work with Michael Cole. Yeah,
Hey, somebody had to name Michael Cole from the Royal Rumble.
that's true.
That touch.
And it did help that Dolph sold the shit out of like for her. Like
That implant buster, yep.
yeah, that Dolph helped her right there. So Awesome Kong advances. Pat. Here we go. Rhea Ripley, Ronda Rousey.
Rhea.
Where are you? I'm sorry.
Rhea, get the
Fuck.
fuck out. Get the fuck out, Sandy Hook Ronda.
Woo! The hatred for Ronda continues. All right.
Well, no, it would just be fair. It would have been a quick squash matches
What's
if
that?
Tessa had advanced also.
True.
That's why I
True.
said it
All
was
right.
killed in the crowd.
That's true. All right. The next one, Jason. Manami Toyota, Molly Holly.
Toyota.
Joe?
Manami.
Manami all around. Ooh, okay. Pat, Bianca Belair, Wendy Richter. Ooh. The
This
plot
is-
thickens for star power.
Yeah.
That's not the most randomest.
It is a random tough one.
Like Beth and Kong go well together.
This is a random tough one because of the star power.
Right.
Mm.
Like you don't think of these two in the same conversation
No.
ever.
I
I
mean,
don't think I've ever had a conversation where I've included Bianca and Wendy in the same sentence or the same argument.
Wendy Richter had Cyndi Lauper to help with her star power. Bianca has Megan Thee Stallion.
Ah, okay.
Oh my god.
That's just Bianca, which is even more impressive because Bianca did it on her own.
Exactly. But
But that's outside.
and mind you, Bianca literally had no experience coming into this.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
As soon as she signed into WWE, like she learned from the ground up.
Right.
So-
she's one of WWE's most mainstream woman, or arguably the most mainstream woman right now.
Exactly. And
Look who they chose to represent them at the merger the other day. It was her.
Bianca Belair.
Yeah, she was.
That's big on Montez too. Like Montez being at the
Yeah.
that's a big one. Like Montez being at the forefront of that's big.
That's big for him too.
And not to mention they're getting invited to award shows and
Yeah.
being the not just a power couple, but being those two people to count on when it comes to getting the company's name out there. You know?
Right.
Whereas Wendy Richter, she was big back then when she had a Cyndi Lauper, and she was up there with the likes of Hogan and Piper in terms of popularity.
Which is impressive in its own right in that era for a woman.
But it all comes to what Jason brought up earlier. In terms of star power today and back then, it's a whole different story.
Right.
It all comes down to the money, and it all comes down to how their careers ended up. You know, Wendy with the screw job didn't do well for her. Bianca, on the other hand, is making 6 or 7 figures. She's making that 7-figure type deal where she's carrying the company in the new heights. When it's already been when it's already broken barriers, it's breaking more barriers. So, I don't know. I don't know what you guys are going for. I mean, it's still a weird sentence to put Bianca and Wendy in the same.
Yeah.
He said Bianca.
I said Bianca.
Okay. No, it was. I was just trying to think of star power for you guys, like in terms of it's similar when it comes to star power. So, but Pat said Bianca. Jason,
Bianca.
Bianca.
Wendy
Okay.
had 1 year, whereas Bianca's just starting, and she's going to have several more years under her belt.
Fair, and she's like what 33,
She's a little up there, yeah.
but she started at like 30, right? Like
Yeah.
29, 30, yeah.
28, 29.
Yeah, where it's not even like back then in wrestling, it wasn't even advised to start that late. Where today's wrestling, you could start at any age and you're fine. Yeah. All right. Oh fuck. The next one, Joe, Bailey, Asuka,
Oscar.
Pat.
Oscar.
Oscar.
All right. Give Bailey her flowers, though.
Oh yeah.
Jason,
I think that was a second round match before.
they were. And Bailey prevailed on that one, I think. So Asuka got her win back. All right.
50-50 booking, that's fine.
Well, no, because all around,
It's
yeah,
sarcastic.
I know. Jason, the next one's for you. Naomi, Natalia.
Natalia.
Pat,
Natalia.
Natalia all around.
Yeah.
I'll make-
Again.
the next one, Pat. Hikaru Shida, Kairi Sane.
Kyrie.
Oh, Joe.
I'll go Kyrie, so.
Jason?
I would have actually gone with Sheeta, but that's
All right.
for Kyrie.
The next one, Joe. This is a rematch from before. Alundra Blaze, Bull Nakano.
Ah,
Remember, all around. We're not talking WWE anymore.
I'll make it fun. I'll go with differentiation. I did before. I'll go with Bull this side. Make it fun.
Okay. Jason.
Sorry, Alundra, we don't have that six-figure payout for you, so we're going to go with Bull Nakano here.
All right. Pat.
I don't like making that fun. I just celebrate Alundra.
Alundra's gone.
Bye.
Make it fun. I thought Pat was next. He might pick Alundra.
He thought the rivalry was going to continue.
The one that thought that the one that thinks they have a better German suplex than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
Just say that.
where she fucking knocked out, what's her name? Literally knocked her out
She
completely.
knocked out Sherry Martel, and yet she says she has a better German suplex than Brock Lesnar. Okay.
Mind you, she was still beating on an unconscious Sherry Martel.
Yeah.
No, fuck. All right. Bull Nakano advances. That saved Pat's a vote. Pat, you're next. Mia Yim, Deonna Purrazzo.
Deanna.
Jason.
Deonna.
Deonna all around.
Yeah.
And final matchup, second round. Joe, Madison Eagles, Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Becky.
Jason.
And unfortunately, Madison only gets through one round. It's back.
All right. Fair enough. Pat saves himself another vote. All right. Third round. Here we go. This is going to be interesting. Pat. Sarah Del Rey, Liv Morgan.
Sarah Del Rey.
Jason.
Sarah Del Rey.
Sarah Del
I
Rey.
would think
All right. Joe. Lita, Mickey James.
Mickey.
Jason.
Mickey.
Pat.
It was gonna be Mickey anyway.
Yeah, Edge is out now. Fuck you. So
All those women are with me. Now we know.
the next one, Jason. Victoria, Mako Satomura.
Mako Satomura.
Pat.
Mako.
Joe. Mako. All right. Ooh, Pat. Awesome Kong, Rhea Ripley. This is a dream match in itself, too.
Yeah. Kong's good at dream matches.
Maybe it's recency bias or WWE bias. For me, at least. But I'm gonna go with Rhea here. She's almost touching mainstream. Kong
Okay.
never really had that.
Fair. So Rhea. Joe?
Oh, it should be Jason.
It should be Jason.
You could refuse like I did.
No, I'm not copping out either like you did. I would go with Rhea because I think it is the recency bias. But
Yeah.
I see Rhea at the higher level that we're Kong competed.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it has nothing to do with Kong.
No.
She's awesome. No pun intended.
It's just Kong didn't get that chance to
Right.
Yeah.
get to that mainstream
Sometimes
success.
she had the signing, and just things happen,
Right.
whether it's her own things or whatever. It just happened that way.
It wasn't all for she did. Or
Okay, so Rhea Ripley will advance. Another case where Rhea Ripley again in the top 16. So good on her. I'm not mad about it. The next one, Jason Manami Toyota, Bianca Belair.
Toyota.
Joe.
Konami.
Whoo. She might be a sneaky winner in this one. I don't know.
Even if you don't know much about her, you know her name and what she did. That's
Yeah.
the legend alone helps her.
Fair. Toyota advances. Joe, Asuka, Natalia.
Oscar.
Pat.
Sorry, no deep run for you, Natalia Asuka.
Yeah.
No terribly deep run, I should say.
No top 4 run.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, it's Oscar.
Natalia's right where she belongs.
Right
Stay
in the
out of it. Right in the middle. Stay out of it. Asuka advances. The next one, Jason. Kairi Sane, Bull Nakano.
Bull Nakano.
Pat,
Bull.
Bull Nakano. And the last matchup, third round, goes to Joe, Deonna Purrazzo, Becky Lynch.
Fuck, I want Deanna to have a dark horse run, but she can't expect it.
Jason?
Yeah, her time ends here.
Oh. Hey, give Deonna credit though. She was going to be a dark horse. I agree. But she is top 5 knockout, so
That may actually be a closer conversation.
that is true. So Becky advances. All right, final 8. Final 8. Here we go.
The Elite 8.
Jason, Sarah Del Rey, Mickie James. This is where it gets tougher. This is the first time I've ever heard Jason this quiet before.
Sounds like me.
Jason's usually quiet and then he has something to say, but he's just
Sounds like me
silent.
like
Yeah.
I think.
This is a tough one. This is arguably a finals match too, if you look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because of the fact that it's the greatest wrestler, and I've used the argument for Del Rey with
Okay.
both for in the ring and out of the ring help. But
I mean-
judging off of greatest wrestler, I gotta go with Mickey. I
mean-
have to go with Mickey on this one.
Mickey has contributed outside of the ring as well. So
Yeah, I don't think maybe it's as publicized.
yeah, no, not as prominent as Sarah Del Rey, but
yeah.
Mickey has. You could tell Mickey has helped a lot in Impact.
Yeah, she definitely has. Yeah, she's definitely what would be classified as a player coach.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I will go with Mickey here.
all right, Joe.
It is a tough one, but getting down to I think it's Mickey. So
Mickey. All right, Pat.
Yeah, it was going to be Mickey.
All right,
Hey,
Mickey-
to the OAA. That's nothing. That's
Yeah.
nothing to sneeze at.
hey, Sarah Del Rey's top 10. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
It should be top 10 on anybody's list is Sarah Del Rey.
Yeah.
So, all right,
and
Mickey
if you don't
James?
and if you don't have it, you ain't educated in terms of.
you're not watching wrestling enough.
No.
Yeah. Mickey James to the final 4. The next one, Joe Mako Satomura, Rhea Ripley. This is another case of I wouldn't even say popularity because Rhea Ripley has shown enough in ring, but popularity versus longevity.
it's only popularity versus experience.
Because Rhea Ripley does have that experience. She has shown it in ring
Yeah.
even before breaking into the WWE. But again, it's the longevity. It would be Mako's route. But it's another case of what are you going to do here?
Mm. I don't know which way these two are going to vote. I'm just going to go with Rhea.
Rhea, okay. I know Pat or Jason's going to be a dick at some point, so
I know.
I'm waiting. So Joe goes with Rhea.
And I'm just going with Rhea too because she's my favorite woman right now too. So it's probably biased.
Okay.
But
Fair.
give some
Okay.
her a nice run.
Rhea gets a vote. Jason.
Well, I'm not going to be a dick. I'm going to go with Rhea also.
All right. Rhea Ripley. Final four. Saves Pat a vote. You were going to go Mako?
It may not count, but I would have gone with Rhea.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Yeah, so my vote wouldn't matter.
All right.
William Vincent.
Rhea advances. The next one, I'll do it the Pat. This is another strong matchup. Manami Toyota, Asuka. Another matchup of the ages right here. Joe's like, fuck. I mean, hey, this is Elite 8. It's not like in the first
Yeah, I
round.
know.
So, if this was first round, I feel like all three of you would have quit.
Right.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, we'll see you next time, everybody.
Right.
Yeah, about that podcast, buddy. You're on your own.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting here doing brackets by myself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like Ronda getting a spot over Trish or anything like that.
Now, if that were to happen, our podcast would have totally been canceled.
Right. So, yeah.
Minami.
Ooh. Joe.
No, Jason.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, Jason.
Minami.
Jason?
Yeah, I was going to give Miami to it also.
Okay. I mean, Asuka in the top 10 should be in anybody's top 10 list, to be honest.
Yeah.
Last matchup of the Elite 8 will go to Jason, Bull Nakano, Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Pat.
Becky.
Joe. Hey, Becky got further than Charlotte. Fuck you. All right, final
You're
four.
on that. I'm on Ronda getting in and not Trish. Ronda having a shot, not Trish. Ronda or Tessa having a chance with Trish finish.
I'm still waiting for Edge versus Lance Storm.
Oh, man. Okay. So, final four. Joe, this is a rematch. Mickey James, Rhea Ripley.
I remember when I picked in the rematch then. And I picked her again. I'm going with Mickey.
Jason,
Mickey.
Pat.
For the immense talent involved and close comparisons, this is actually considered relatively easy, Mickey.
Okay. At least this was a further matchup than
Right. The second
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
second round. I think Rhea lost in the Elite 8, but this was a Final Four matchup, rightfully so, because again, you could also state the argument that these two can also be in your top 10 today. So
Right.
Yeah.
Mickey goes on to the finals. Jason, is Mickey going to face Manami Toyota or Becky Lynch?
She's going to face Miami Toyota.
Joe.
That Tokyo Dome thing's still in my head. Her
The whole thing is shit, yeah.
yeah, it has to be Manami.
The Toyota? Wow, Toyota. Tokyo Dome. I said Toyota Dome. The Tokyo Dome is literally
Well, the Toyota Dome and the Tokyo Dome are both sold out next to me.
the Superdome. Anyway. So Manami Toyota to the finals? Everybody?
She goes through anyway, but it wouldn't have necessarily been unanimous. I would have gone with Becky because
Okay.
yes, Manami had the Tokyo Dome, but Becky also had MetLife.
Becky had Mania. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an argument in itself. So, okay. Fair. Final two. Jason, you're going to kick it off.
Mhm.
Manami Toyota, Mickie James. And yes, the Tokyo Dome can be an argument, but can it be an argument for so long?
No, it ends here to me, Mickey.
Okay, Joe.
Well, the first three of these tournaments, we went to the third person. I'm going to make it a little easier on Pat. I'm not making it on the third person. To me, the Tokyo Dome point gets you so far. Mickey's one. No offense to Toyota. She's decorated. Mickey's literally decorated in multiple companies.
Right.
Over the year. I gotta go with Mickey.
So Mickey's going to win this whole thing?
Unanimously.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I mean,
So there's not going to be a third person.
No.
Okay.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, the winner and what we thought, the greatest overall women's wrestler to do it in two companies, Mickie James. Arguably rightfully so.
Yeah.
No offense. She's the one I was rooting for.
Arguably rightfully so. I don't know where she ranks on anybody else's top 10. I don't know where she ranks if she's in anybody's top 5, because I know some of these fucking.
She's like in my top 3.
Yeah, I know some of these fucking reporters and these dirt sheets don't put Mickie as top 5. I don't know where she ranks, period. But here, she's number 1. And
Yeah.
I was perfectly fine with this being the top 2 with her and Toyota. Even going to the later rounds from the Elite 8 to the finals, I was completely fine if that was our list. Completely fine with it. So, controversy aside and rivalries aside, Mickie James is the greatest women's wrestler according to us. If you want to deem it official, yes, according to us, Mickie James is the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
It's by us, so of course it's official.
Yes. Not mad at it. So, now that we officially discussed all of women's wrestling, it's time to get back into the scheme of things and talk about matches. So, with, I don't want to say Survivor Series coming up because that's like 2 months. So I'm going to change it up a bit. We're going to be breaking down in our next bracket the greatest Attitude Era matches of all time.
Okay.
And the timeline, the timeline from when it started to when it ended, that's going to play a factor. I will give you guys the list of the matches. If you guys have substitutions, let me know. But that is basically pay-per-view, whatever happened on Raw and SmackDown. Those type of matches are going to make that list. And no, Edge versus Lance Storm is not on that list.
Then that list is bullshit. You know it.
That wasn't the Attitude Era.
Where's Edge versus Test?
Doesn't matter.
Wait, so you don't consider the Alliance was Attitude Era? And it was at the end. It was at the end of the Attitude Era.
I consider the Attitude Era the exact way that the AE podcast considers the Attitude Era. WrestleMania 14 and WrestleMania 17.
I mean, I'm considering it until when they announced the Ruthless Aggression Era. So,
that's fair.
Okay.
At the end of 2001, if you want to consider it that being the end of the Attitude Era, we're going to name it that. So Edge and Lance Storm is still not on the fucking list.
But you know what should be Armageddon 99? Bikini pool, the evening gown match in a pool.
Oh God.
Versus BB versus Jacqueline versus
No.
Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe in drag.
No.
That's my number 2.
I was gonna say Kat and Terry for Mania 2000. Anyway, the only. Yes, we'll be discussing the greatest Attitude Era matches of all time. I mean, I want to change it up a bit and lead it up because I did want to redo the greatest Survivor Series matches, but we'll get to that when November hits. Yes, so I want to lead up to it. So the greatest Attitude Era matches of all time will be our next bracket, so stay tuned for that, and I'm sure I will give you guys the list to study up refresh your memory, do what you got to do. Jason usually is like a fucking dictionary. He doesn't have to refresh his memory.
It's good sometimes, so I just like at least get your eyes on it once again.
Exactly. You know, you might change your opinion on some matches.
Yeah.
But yes, stay tuned for that. What's up, Joe?
No, I was just gonna say I'm not gonna be available the 21st of October. We're just doing the weekends.
No. We'll give it time. Don't worry.
Yeah, I have available like October to do it.
Okay.
On the weekends.
Yeah, we'll work it out. We'll figure it out like we always do.
Time to watch it too.
Exactly. So yes, stay tuned for that, and yeah, be sure to check out Wrestling in Mom's Basement on YouTube, and also follow their socials: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm not calling it X anymore; it's Twitter from now on. Be sure to check out Jason Rowland on H2O Wrestling on IWTV. Follow him on his socials, Instagram and Twitter. I don't know about Facebook, right?
I mean, I'm on Facebook, but just not Jason Rowland, just my shit.
Just your actual, we're not going to. Jason Rowland on Instagram and Twitter, but also check him out on IWTV. Yes. Be sure to check out our sponsors, Optivist Crew, Coffee Over Cardio, and Boxed Water. Thank them for still sponsoring the podcast. Even though it's been through a lot of shit and a lot of changes, I still thank them for being sponsors to the podcast. So check them out. That's true. Check them out on their socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And also check out Turny Time Podcast wherever you hear your podcast. We're on all streaming platforms and mainly on YouTube now. So be sure to like and subscribe. Like this video when it comes up, minus the technical difficulties because fuck Spectrum. Yes, be sure to check us out. Like it. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I don't know if I said that already, but I'm saying it again to put it in your head. Twitter, Turny Time Pod, not podcast, pod, because the name got taken for some reason. So yeah, be sure to check us out. X. Yeah, throw up the X. Fuck that. Fucking X. It's Twitter. It's the Bird app. It's always the Bird app. Anyway, check us out. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed it. Please don't come to our houses with picket fences. Well, you don't know where we live, but still, don't cancel us. We gave you our best opinion.
I'm in a room. I don't have a picket fence.
Don't come at us. Don't throw stones at our windows. Anyway.
It'd be nice if they built me a picket fence, but
sure. But thank you. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next time on Turny Time Podcast. Holy fuck.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.